People, you know the deal. What up? Roll out the holly. We're laughing at Bryce and his Arkansanity. What's up, everybody? Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you. What's going on out there? I hope that you had a wonderful, excellent, extravagant, fantastic, above all expectations Christmas this very day. I hope it was wonderful for you. I hope you spent time with friends and family and had a grand old time. I did. Had a great day. Just got back from the folks' place. Really enjoyed my time with the fam. And now we're here to continue the good mood. We are staying with the positivity. We are going to be hanging out with Bryce Mitchell, who is a beacon of positive energy in this world, spreading nothing but love, joy, peace, and understanding via his Arkansanity podcast. Now, of course, we've watched episode 1 of the Arkansanity podcast together already, but I was going to do this thing in order, and then I saw what you're looking at on your screen right now, right? Yes, you are. So here is the Arkansanity podcast page on Rumble. There are 7 episodes out now. And wouldn't you know it, only 3 days ago, Bryce puts out an episode that's Christmas themed. So not only do we get to hang out and laugh along with all the yucks on a Bryce Mitchell podcast spectacular, but we get a Christmas themed one. So I am proposing that we break the order here. We do not go directly to episode 2. We skip ahead to the most current episode, which is episode 7, entitled They Gayed Out Christmas. Who is they? I think you might be able to guess. But I don't know. We'll check in with the chat here in a second to see if y'all agree with this. But I wanted to bring this up as well for 2 reasons. That being, just to show you that this is what this is. We've got 7 episodes and the newest one is They Gayed Out Christmas. But also to show that Bryce's numbers have not been great on the podcast. Bryce went from 36.9 thousand, so 36,900 views on the first episode. We know why that was. Then down to 14.6K on the second episode. Then it drops off dramatically for episode 3. Only 1,800 views on that. And then going down and down and down, 1,300 thereafter, and 700, 600, and then this most recent one at almost 350 views. Bryce is getting Yama numbers right now. This is not a great look for Bryce, but we're going to help him out because this is the giving season, people. We are in the giving season. This is Christmas time. I'm feeling amazing, and I cannot wait to watch Bryce on here. So all of that being said, thank you for being here. Let's see what's going on with the chat. Rick Allen has 1 testicle, says Beeb. Is that a Christmas fact? It goes beyond Christmas, I think. This is just something that's year round. I guess if you only have 1, you can't really choose whether it's Christmas or not. He's got an ornament. Rick Allen has one ornament. Hydra, what's good? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Hydra. I hope you had a great one. You had a great Christmas? Well, there you go. I mean, answering the question right now. Throughout this entire stream, by the way, people, I'm going to need to hear your Christmas stories. I'm going to need to hear what you did. What did you get as presents? How did you bring this Christmas season into your life? And how great was it for you? You know, traditions. Lay it out in the chat. Let me know. And I'll tell you a little bit about mine as well before we get started with this or throughout it or whatever. We'll figure all that out. Happy holidays, Mofo. Michael, the stealth assassin Michael, coming in on Christmas Day. Appreciate you, brother. Hope you had a great Christmas. Bullshit on Kick coming in and getting out of here. Skip, I agree. I think this is what we have to do, right? Yeah, the Christmas Arkansanity special, I think it has to be. It has to be. Of course, it's on Rumble. Yes. Bryce and Rumble going together like peanut butter and jelly. Perfect. Nothing could be better about this, in my opinion. I do apologize that I said I was going to get to these episodes a little bit quicker. And that is something that's my New Year's resolution for the channel, is to stop saying that I'm going to do things and then not doing them. If I say I'm going to do it, I need to be a man of my word and come through with those promises, because I know that there are people out there who want to hear this stuff that we're doing on here, that look forward to the content, and I am very grateful and do not take that for granted. So that is my New Year's resolution to you, is that if I say I'm going to do something, I damn well better do it, all right? I'm going to try my best to stick to that. Obviously, there are going to be sometimes where that's not possible, but on the whole, if I say it, I need to be about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. Got to do it. But yes, Bryce over here being about it with 7 episodes of his show out. So we got to honor Bryce the same way that Bryce honors the Lord and Savior that this holiday that we are on together is for. Except we all know that it was kind of appropriated from pagan traditions, but we don't talk about that because that's not what the Bible says. Bryce taught us well. We know what's going on here. Saying all he did about Mustache Man for 36,000 views is crazy. But it's not for the views. I don't know if you saw this. I posted it in the Discord, but Bryce Mitchell just recently came out and hit the KFC double down on us. He said, I stick by everything that I said back then. Like, he was trying to backpedal and change it around a little bit, even though there was no room to change anything or recontextualize. That was the first episode of Laughing at Bryce Mitchell, was us going over episode 1 of the podcast in its entirety. And if you do that, I highly recommend that you go back and watch that VOD if you have not seen that episode, because the greater context does nothing to help him. Like, he say, it's out of context. It's just a clip. You got to listen to the whole. No, the whole episode digs him 10 times deeper into the hole, but he doubles down now and says, no, I believe all of that stuff, and had to add the cherry on top. Who runs the world? You know who. I think you can definitely tell who if you look at some of these episode titles. My favorite one being episode 5, World War III, and it ain't the Muslims! ! What is that paired with? A picture of Trump wearing a yarmulke at the Western Wall. It ain't the Muslims? I wonder who it is, Bryce. Who could it possibly be? Bryce Mitchell saying that the world is run by a certain group that does not celebrate this holiday that we are currently on traditionally. Your boy does. So, obviously I am super Jew over here. I transcend the confines of any religions. I am through the sheet at all times. If you know what I'm talking about, real ones do. So either way, Bryce is on a whole nother level here, saying that doing it for the views. Bryce has never been doing it for the views. He is doing it for one reason and one reason only. That's the big man upstairs. Keep Christ in Christmas, says Bryce. Well, we're going to find out if that's what he's saying here, because obviously they gayed out Christmas. Christmas has been gayed, people. Let me ask you, as I said, I'm going to need to hear Christmas traditions in the chat, but did you feel as you were celebrating Christmas that it had been gayed out? Like, were you at home with your family and just were like, God, man, there's a whole lot more pastel colors on the walls around here. I am hearing a lot more musical theater going on in this house where there should be holiday music. I am currently hearing the soundtrack to Les Mis. Is this what you guys are feeling out there? Are you like, do you just feel it as like an atmosphere that this gayed out Christmas that Bryce is speaking of? Because obviously they did it. He's telling us in episode 7, which we're going to get into in just a minute. Yama is getting Bryce numbers. Bryce is getting Yama numbers, brother. We're about to surpass Bryce in a major way if this is what he's pulling. 350 episodes, Bryce. We got to get those numbers up, brother. We're going to help you right now. I spent the day with my immediate family, watched the Christmas football, and had a turkey dinner. Damn, that sounds perfect. I got F1 merch and my favorite teams and drivers as my favorite gift. My man, Hydra. Bro, doing Christmas absolutely correct. Congratulations for that. Very glad to hear it. CTE coming in. Merry Christmas to you as well, my friend. I had a great day. As I'm saying, I need to hear traditions, brother. How was yours? Mine was awesome. I'll tell you, just before we get too deep into it, I do want to mention this. I watched a very quality film with my parents today, with my mother mostly. It's called The Thursday Murder Club. I think that's what it was called. The Thursday Murder Club. It's definitely an old people movie. My parents getting a little bit older now. They like, kind of low stakes, but I liked this. This was a very, it was like a murder mystery type of thing with older people as the subject matter, but it was very fun. It had comedy in it. Chris Columbus directed it, the director of many, many fine films and writer of many fine films, Gremlins, Goonies, a couple of Harry Potter films he directed. Chris Columbus is a legendary film director. And this movie was really good. It's on Netflix. We watched it on Netflix. Pierce Brosnan in it. A couple of English actors and actresses, and Helen Mirren, the other lead. Very quality film. Enjoyed it very much. So had a lovely dinner, beautiful Christmas, and now we're going to get to laugh at Bryce. So my life really could not be much better than it is right at this very moment. I am glad to hear that yours has been as well. Chairway, how's it going? Who puts wooden doors on their... Jesus, dude. Okay. Who puts wooden doors on their chambers? Who puts a theater, a post office, a swimming pool, and a maternity ward in their death camp? What are we talking about? I mean, I know what we're basically talking about, but is that is that something that he said, or is that something that context, please? James, are we getting a compilation of best 2025 Yama moments? God, I don't even know how to go about doing that. Like, I'd have to go back and like rewatch everything from the year. I don't know about that, but what I will say is that we are definitely getting the year-end Last Week's Fights episode this coming Monday. Last Week's Fights 2025 year in review episode is coming out this coming Monday. If you are a member of the Discord, you can vote on some of your favorite moments in the UFC this year, and we will be going over all of that on the show. So that's somewhat of that. I got to start thinking about things like that, though, for the future, though. So I appreciate the thought there, Beeb, and if I can do something along those lines, maybe I'll try to get something out there. It's always the juice, brother. We know. Come on. When it's Bryce, when it's his camp, when it's his ideology and his mindset. I'm surprised Bryce even tried to hide it for as long as he did. Or not even really hide it, but just try to smooth things out for as long as he did. I think it was actually really when the Anti-Defamation League came after him and made him Anti-Semite of the Week that he really went full in, though. It's like, bro, he was trying to course correct and this and that, and then trying to make it about the gays. It's either the Jews or the gays always when it comes to Bryce. So mostly it was the gays, but then the Jews struck back and were like, you're an anti-Semite. And so he was like, yeah, goddammit, I guess I am. And then he fucking leaned in, doubled down KFC style. And now he's got 2 chicken patties slapped amongst a fine line of cheese, which is his additional going after of the Jews. So it is what it is. And we're going to find out more about it in just a few moments. Again, appreciate you all being here. It was for the guards and officers. I hope you're memeing or... Yeah, well, I'm trying to... I'm trying to see what Chairway is talking about here. Are you a denier, Chairway? Is that what we're seeing? Are you a Bryce supporter? Because I really would genuinely like to meet somebody that like 100% believes the shit that Bryce believes. But at the same time, I don't really think that there's much to gain from it because there's no reasoning with this type of ideology that I have seen. People have asked me in the past, oh, would you debate this person? And what I always come back to when it comes to that kind of stuff is for what purpose? To what end? What does debating them do? Because they are so deeply entrenched in this ideology that I don't think that there's any real like middle ground to be reached. You can present all kinds of facts to them and they just systematically have a number of reasons why they can, wave it all off. So, I mean, there doesn't seem to be much room for actual growth from debates. That's why I generally shy away from doing anything like that. Engaging for what reason? So we can yell at each other? I'm not interested. I'll save my energy. I have my own show. I can do my own yelling. So can Bryce. The worlds don't need to cross, in my opinion. You put a stripper pole in your living room and had Peyton Talbot over? Well, then obviously, though that's the gaying out of Christmas. There you go. There you go. Frank Ocean must have been in tow, too. I don't know about Bryce, but I don't let the government or other people influence how I celebrate my holidays. I guess Bryce is just soy. That's kind of like what I think is really should be the underlying thought process of all of this, right? Like, people get upset about happy holidays as a saying. Like, does that somehow devalue your enjoyment of your own holiday? I don't know. It's any time that people try to put their own ideology onto others is what bothers me. I'm a very live and let live type of person, and it bothers me when you try to have other people forcefully subscribe to your thought process or ascribe to your thought processes. It's Merry Christmas. Well, no one's fucking stopping you from saying Merry Christmas. I say Happy Holidays. I celebrate Honda Days. You celebrate Toyota-thon. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It's a dumb way to be because no one's stopping you from doing anything. That's why I've always never understood why people are anti-gay to begin with. No one is making you gay. As much as Bryce would disagree with that statement. Obviously, because they gayed out Christmas, somebody's trying to actively make you gay. You cannot be made to be gay, as far as I understand it to be the case, but these people would say otherwise. So, I don't know. If you see two people that are of the same sex kissing in a film, it plants a seed that cannot be unplanted, apparently. We'll hear what Bryce has to say in just a few minutes. Spent last night with my girlfriend's family, which was awesome. Then just a small gathering at my house with the immediate family. Brother, that is exactly what I had as far as the today goes. Very small little get together with the fam. Watched a movie, ate some food. Could not have been better. Hung out today beforehand playing video games. Got a video out on the channel last night. If you are not aware, check it out. There's a video out right now about all of the shady dealings allegedly going on over at Karate Combat. So check that out if you have not had the time, if you have been too caught up in the holidays. This is something else that you can check out after the stream. That painting she made me is based off my favorite album from the year. Nice. Which one is it? What album is it? Let me know. But the painting was really good. Your girlfriend is very talented. Davos, how are you, sir? Good day, brother. Merry Christmas to the land down under. You're going to label me top anti-Semite. I'll show you top. Exactly. Yeah. He doubled and tripled down because you can't call me an anti-Semite. I call myself an anti-Semite. Hell yeah, you are. You're a Bryce supporter, Chairway? All right. Well, be interesting to hear what you have to say about this shit. Sliding with Bryce is definitely wild. Yeah, that is an absolutely wild position to take. But again, if you're cool with me, I'll be cool with you in the chat, whatever, always. Like I said, it's not something that I would sit and debate about because what's the point? If someone says happy holidays, I just assume the holiday is Christmas. Why assume it's something else, then get mad about it? Yeah, I mean, because they could say it could be, you could be talking about Hanukkah. And God forbid that that's the case, obviously. But, I mean, either way, like, I don't assume anything about it. I just say happy holidays because I like it as a saying. It's got nice alliteration. Happy holidays. 2 H's in that. HH. Could be used other ways. Bryce might. Chairway might, apparently. We'll see. But either way, I like it. I like it as a saying. I say Merry Christmas as well, if I feel like it. Whatever. Either way, it doesn't fucking matter or make a difference to you and how you celebrate. Just, you can say Merry Christmas back. Happy holidays. Oh, Merry Christmas. Oh, okay. Who gives a fuck? God, people are so fucking like, what really, I was thinking about this today too. What bothers me a lot about like the world that these types of people want to have is kind of like, it bothers me because like, if they did get their version of utopia, it would fucking suck. Like to have like this like worldwide ethno planet, you know what I mean? Like this religion / ethno homogenous planet that they want where everybody thinks and practices the same would really suck. There's be no diversity to it whatsoever, and it would be a very terrible place to live. Like, and I'm not just talking about people who wouldn't fit into that. Yeah, obviously they wouldn't be around, so it wouldn't matter for them. But I'm just talking about, like, if you were a regular person who was not staunchly steeped in this ideology, and you just happened to be of that group just by birth, and we're just, like, around in it, like, I don't really support that, but I'm here, and they're doing what they're gonna do. Like, imagine being the regular German during the Holocaust. You know what I mean? It's like, it just fucking sucks. It's like all this shit around me. Like, I don't like this, and I'm not even talking about it being in wartime. I'm talking about just a day-to-day life in the world that they envision it as they would like it to be. Really sounds fucking awful. So we'll get into it. We will get into all of this very soon. I promise. It's a long lead up here. Rick Allen, how are you, sir? Heard you had one testicle. How's that doing for you? Apparently that's the new meme, brother. I hope you're doing well, though, Rick. Happy holidays, brother. Hope you're having a good Christmas, Rick Allen. I mean that. I really do sincerely mean that. I'm memeing on you a little bit, but it's all love, brother. At least from here. Hymns in Dissonance by White. Oh, yes, Whitechapel. Yes, you did. You posted some Whitechapel in the Discord. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed some Whitechapel. People can totally make you gay. Ever had your friend send you a femboy's Twitter? I wasn't gay before that, liberal. Well, I mean, maybe it's just one of those things that you didn't know about. Like, so, okay, I guess there is... look, I'll go down that road with you. As I sip on that bullshit at 10:30 at night. I'll go down that road with you. I guess that there is something to be said for the concept that if you've never been exposed to anything homosexual in any capacity, that if you do have an underlying desire for that seeing it represented somewhere may unlock that in you. However, and this is coming from various accounts from the many, many gays that I have known throughout my life. And this is because, again, working in live entertainment, lots of that there. There always was, for the people that I have talked to about this, where these conversations come up however they may arise, there is always an awakening point for them, regardless of whether they see it actually in a gay context or if it's just something deeper in there. What I mean by this, good friend of mine, won't leave names out of this, guy that I used to work with, he said that he can pinpoint the exact moment he realized that he was gay. It was the film Chariots of Fire, and I forget who the actor was in it, like Rob Lowe or whatever, one of the main actors from that movie. He saw that guy and he said, damn, I'm gay at like 7 years old or whatever. You know what I mean? It hit him. He was like, I'm attracted to that guy. So my point is that yes, if you have never seen it before, then maybe there's something to that. Oh, wow. I didn't know that that was even a thing. I didn't know that you could be attracted to another man, woman, whatever you are. However, there has to be the deeper seed, I believe. Gotta be. It's gotta be. Because if not, then you would see it and it wouldn't click. I don't know. Maybe there's something more to it than I'm not understanding. You good? Mike Chrissy was yesterday. Understood. Well, we're still living in the past out here, Davos, but shout out to Australia, always one step ahead of the States. Most of our modern Christmas traditions come from Yule anyway. Happy holidays is fine by me. This is true. I saw a great song, actually. The song was a banger. I'll post it in the Discord if you want to hear what I'm talking about. Shout out to Jono, good friend of mine. Sent it to me, and it's a song about how exactly that, basically. Most of our Christmas traditions come from Yule, and Yule is, of course, a pagan belief, with a lot of crazy rituals attached to it. So, there you go. People who say happy holidays are using dog whistles. HH people, wake up. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Any luck on the dating apps? Brother, not right now. It has been Christmas time, so it's a little bit, my thoughts have been preoccupied. I told you about the last date that I had on there. Haven't really been too on them in recent times, but 2026, we're back at it, brother. I will keep you posted. You know I will. I know a lot of gay people because I work in live entertainment. I mean, facts are facts. How else did I end up at the gay club? That guy Chase, wasn't it? Chase, no, I mean, as far as I know, Chase, 100%. I mean, I don't know. You guys maybe have better gaydar than me. You tell me. Yeah, Davos is a Australian. Rick Allen says Ian Charleston from Chariots of Fire was actually gay and died of AIDS. Oh, I mean, well then there you go. That could have been the guy that it was. I'd have to look up the rest of the cast. I forget. He said the name of the guy, obviously, but I don't remember. I never saw the movie. All I know is that it's got that fantastic banger of a song. Oh wait, no, is Chariots of Fire? I think it was St. Elmo's Fire, because that's what I was thinking of the song. I think it might have been St. Elmo's Fire was the one that was his gay movie. See? Hey, Chase coming in, 100% not gay. 100% not gay. That's what I bet. That there's a second part to that. Chat's over here trying to play Spot the Gay. Jesus Christ, people. All right, we're going to get into this Bryce Mitchell Christmas episode momentarily, promise you. He was the Johnny Appleseeds of AIDS. Jesus Christ. Ian Charleston, Patient Zero. Rob Lowe wasn't in Chariots of Fire, 2 different movies. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it was St. Elmo's Fire. I don't know, bro. Like I said, whatever. My point, you're getting hung up on the details that don't matter of the story. The point is that he had a movie. He saw a dude in the movie. He was like, that guy is what I'm into. I know what I'm about now. Closeted for sure. Who? You leave Chase alone, by the way, if that's who you're getting at. I will not have this slander of my co-host going on in my chat right now. Either way, all right. We've done enough chit-chatting about Christmas and the gaying out thereof, why don't we get into a little bit of Bryce Mitchell on the Arkansanity podcast? This is episode 7, so we've done episode 1. We're doing episode 7. We'll ping-pong through this thing however we get through them, but promise we are going to be doing as many of these as we can before my brain melts out of my ears and down through my spinal column. You may see here, Bryce has no longer a co-host with him. His co-host, Rolly Delgado, jetted the fuck out of there after episode 1. He said, "This is too much for your boy. I will still corner you, but I have no interest in being on your podcast anymore. That was way more exposure than I needed." Rolly hit the road jack. So Bryce is by himself. Bryce is going Bill Burr style on this shit, people. Bryce has all of the tools. This man, I guarantee you that Bryce has all the tools to do this by himself, though. I have not heard any of Bryce by himself, but I am predicting this. Bryce is the type of rambling moron that will just go. You give this man a microphone and he will just spout until his brain sputters and spirals out of control and ultimately shuts itself down. I would not be surprised if the end of every Bryce Mitchell podcast is just him literally tiring himself out to the point that he faints. Just pulling the plug on the machine style. Oh boy, time for some podcast slop. You know it, brother. We are so deep in the trenches on this one, my guy. We are getting into the combat sports slop fest. Welcome to Christmas, bitch. John Dong here. Surprise, surprise. Good to see you, John Dong. Hope you had a good Christmas, my man. I feel like as a Christian, it's going to be nearing blasphemy to compare Satan to anything worldly, let alone Santa Claus. You see that the letters, it's about the letters, brother. Dude, you got to go 17 steps deep. The letters get switched around. They coincide with numerology. That gets paired to the quote in the Bible. The Bible brings it back, always takes it back to point A, which is some deep-seated, odd religious zealotry / fundamental, something deeper, some deeper core value that Bryce has latched himself onto down the rabbit holes that he has gone. Last thing before we start, what do you think Bryce's wife thinks about this? Obviously, she's got to be religious, right? She's got to be somewhere in the same ballpark. But do you, when he says the shit that he says, do you think that she's just like, that's just Bryce? I'm genuinely curious about this, Because Bryce's wife, she came to him. So I gotta believe. There's also, I'm sorry, I keep detouring here, but this is the very last thing. There is also in Arkansas, there is a town that is being built by white people for only white people. I think Bryce could be the mayor. So maybe the reason that I thought of that was because I was like, how are there, there's a bunch of guys here, but there are actually women at it too. I would, guys doing that kind of shit with this ethno-state fucking fantasy that they have. Guys are that way, fucking Roman gladiator fantasies and all this bullshit, this red pill, yada, yada, et cetera, et cetera. I can imagine it for guys. Women, it takes a special type of woman to go along with that type of shit. But they had women there too in the whites only city that they're building currently. So I say that to say Bryce's wife probably with it. And if so, Bryce moving to White Town, I think that it writes itself. The narrative writes itself. All right, without further ado, let's get into Bryce Mitchell on the Arkansanity podcast. This is episode 7. They gayed out Christmas. Let me know if the
Welcome to
volume's okay.
episode 7 of Arkansanity. I'm so glad to have y'all here. And they have gayed out Christmas.
They gated out, people. Coming out the gate hot. They gayed out Christmas. Rainbow Christmas tree. Obviously they did that. No ornaments on the gate out Christmas tree. So they stripped away the trappings of Christmas, replaced it with the rainbow flag. I mean, I understand where he's coming from with this. I see rainbows on my Christmas tree. I can no longer enjoy. We are coming out the gate hot.
Yes, that's what this episode is about. I'm tired of Christmas not being about Christ and it being about all this gay stuff. And trust me, I'm going to get into it in this episode. Thank you so much for being here. And I know on the comments that you love Bryceonomics. I had so much feedback about Bryceonomics that we're bringing it back. It might be on here damn near every episode because y'all loved it.
Oh my God, yes. Bryceonomics. That was another episode title. I cannot wait to get to the episode on Bryceonomics. Now, Bryce apparently does have some basis in economic education. That being said, I can't imagine how that all, like, what I love, this is the great thing about these type of people too, is that no matter what you have in your life, MMA, economics, fucking the hunting, the fishing, all the hillbilly shit with Bryce, everything gets filtered through the lens of the zealotry, the ideology. So no matter what, whether it's anything, it could be the farthest thing from it. Bryce could be into crochet. Crochet would be filtered through the ideology. And that's what we're going to get out of Bryceonomics. So obviously, a lot of great comments for Bryce on Bryceonomics. So Bryceonomics round 2 coming at some point. We're going to get to round 1 sooner than later. We got to get to it before the next episode comes out. I feel like, oh, we already read that. Satan, my boy, gave me Chrissy presents. Yay. You know? I mean, Anton LaVey, Church of Satan. I don't think that they celebrated Christmas, but they probably had something similar. After a certain point, it becomes psychosis. Let's be real. No, yeah, absolutely, CTE. But it's a psychosis that is... It's a psychosis that is boxed in with a manageable navigation of day-to-day life. That's another reason why it's so I don't want to say dangerous. Dangerous gives it more power than what I'm trying to say. I mean, there is a level of danger to it depending on how radicalized people get because of it. But more of what I mean is that when you have a crazy person, like a person that's yelling in the streets and, you know, shouting at the top of their lungs or going out and actively harming people, you know, physically violent towards people, at least you can instantly recognize the threat. You know, New York City is known for this. You walk down the street, crazy people in the street, you recognize, all right, I need to not make eye contact with that person. I need to, you know, keep on my guard with that person, whatever. This psychosis is in the trappings of a person that could be behind you at the bank. You know what I'm saying? This walks among us. And that, I think, is even more frightening. Religious psychosis is literally a separate and recognized DSM-5 diagnosis. Yeah, well, I would love to hear a professional see if to analyze Bryce with that. You know? I would be curious what she, like, you know, or what he would say about Bryce when it comes to that type of analysis. Or, you know, Bryce and the people like him. I bet Bryce's wife has looked more into World War II than anyone else here other than myself. White people are going to be extinct, and it does take a special woman to not be brainwashed. I mean... Oh, good Lord. Okay, so white extinction. First of all, I don't know, what does whiteness do for you exactly? Like, I never really get this part of it. Like, what, like, people care that much about that for? Like, my ethnic background has never, like, I mean, granted, now it's helped in the the racial hierarchy that this country might have, perhaps, but I have no allegiance towards my ethnicity personally. My allegiance is to myself and the things that I personally have control over and do. So I really personally don't care, like, if the ethnic makeup of the world changes and shifts. Um, Also, what, see now, and that, but you're also conflating two separate things, right? You're talking about, oh, everybody in here is brainwashed about World War II. Okay, I mean, we can definitely put aside all of the countless Holocaust survivors and all of the people who actually lived through it. They're not, not, all of them invalidated. All of the history we have from that time time period, excuse me, completely invalidated because you have alternative facts. What does that have to do with the current state of whiteness, quote unquote, and why are they inherently linked? I never understood that argument either. You have the Holocaust and the things that happened in World War II, greatly overblown numbers, blah, 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 this and that. Yeah, okay. I mean, all of those names of the people that passed away and all of that, whatever. Again, alternative facts. We have an alternative version of history. You have the right history. I get it. But what does that have to do with the current makeup of the, like, again, this, and I guarantee you there's an answer to this, and it all goes deeper, 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 and then you end up where Bryce is at. He didn't waste any time. That's what I'm saying, dude. Coming out the gate hot. I love it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's another good point too, right? Hydra, yeah, you can do your part to keep the white race alive by having white children, I suppose. Who would win in a boxing only match, Jake Paul or current Yoel Romero? Ooh, good question. I mean, Yoel had pretty decent striking at times. It was never the best. Shit. Probably Jake. I mean, shit, dude. If Jake could beat Anderson Silva in a boxing match, I think that he could beat Yoel. You actually really want to see that boxing match? Well, I mean, that very well could happen if Yoel Romero keeps up his level of competition now that he's over there in real American freestyle. Obviously no striking over there, but keeps him in the public eye, keeps his name in the conversation. Who knows? All right, more Bryce.
And I love y'all. I have a lesson plan today that touches on what we taught on last week, okay? So it's going to be great for y'all that loved it.
Okay.
You're going to continue to love it. And the great news for this podcast is we have our first sponsor.
Oh, brother. I was very curious if he, it's so funny. I was going to ask that before this episode started and I got sidetracked. I was so curious. Who do you think is sponsoring Bryce? Like, what kind? Put your guesses in the chat. No spoilers if you already know, because I don't know. I'm going to say it's either something hunting related, something tobacco related, or something survival related. I like these options. Hunting, tobacco, survival. Granted, somewhat in the same world perhaps, but I think that these are good options. Because you gotta wonder who not only saw the first episode and all of the clips that were going around. They not only saw that, but then they also saw the current numbers on the current episodes. They said, we saw that you got a lot of views off of some very inflammatory, very, controversial comments that you made. Your numbers have dropped exponentially lower. Those two things combined, we want to sponsor you. So as I said, hunting, tobacco, survival. Black Rifle Coffee, that's not a bad idea either. That's not a bad one. You aren't necessarily wrong. Yoel could definitely win. He has crazy power and can't be KO'd easily. But Yoel gets touched though. Like, I mean, that was always one of his bigger problems. Plus, did you ever see that knockout that he got that he was on the wrong side of in Bellator? Brother looked like he was swimming through space. It wasn't even if I recall, I'd have to rewatch it, but like I remember that clip was going around that like he got touched up and it didn't seem like very bad shots, and he was like bro was wah. He looked like a wobbly inflatable tube man. Might be a beer brand, but I'm saying a knife company. Yeah, I think knife hunting, survival, I think that's in the same camp. Something weird and dumb like a bucket cover. Bryce is a bucket cover. All right, let's go.
This is awesome, okay? I am partnered up with the Fight House Gym. This is a brand new
MMA related
gym coming to Northwest Arkansas. It is a 12,000 plus square foot facility that is an elite performance training center. It opens in January 2026. They got MMA, boxing, kickboxing, BJJ, free weights, cardio, full turf cross training area, okay, full recovery area with sauna, cold plunge, hot tub,
nice.
Red light room, everything you need, whether you're a fighter or not. It's the best place to train in Arkansas. I'm going to train up there. Go to thefighthousegym.com and get 20% off for life. Make sure you help support these local gyms. Okay, check it out. And thank you so much.
Look, honestly, that's fine. I that's okay. That like I have no problem with that. Actual MMA sponsorship facility actually looked nice. I mean, what I'm curious about though is that like how did they get that footage if they're not open yet? Like was that from another gym that's exactly the same as what they're planning on doing? Either way though, from the footage, if it is anything like the footage that they just showed, it looked like a really nice facility, honestly. So yeah, hey, I am completely okay with that. Shout out to Fight House Gym, even though, pairing up with Bryce, maybe not the exact right way to go. It's the Bolshevik bullshit that's been going on since 1900-ish. It's only white countries where it's encouraged to replace the local but who is trying to replace the local population? Like, you see replacement. No one's trying to replace white people. This is this weird inferiority fallacy that certain white people have. No one is saying that you can't be white anymore. Just because other people are around that aren't white does not mean that you suddenly have to not be white. I will admit that there is a little bit of bullshit when it comes to quote unquote white pride. I do understand that like it does get ridiculous to the point where every other ethnicity and race gets to be proud of it except for white people. That I can find middle ground on some of this stuff. Because, like, even as a person who does not agree with a lot of the, a lot of the mentality of these ethno-state people, I mean, obviously I don't and would not be allowed in it if I did. But, I can understand where they're coming from on some of these things. However, like, no one is stopping you from there is literally a city in Arkansas that is being built for and by white people, and white people exclusively. So if you want to be around nothing but white people, there you go. There will be a place for you in Arkansas. I can link you to the videos about it. I'd be happy to point you in the right direction. I think there's about like 10 people there currently. You could be number 11. Whites only gym, yo. Bro. I wonder what their Jew policy is in that gym. I'd like to come and train with Bryce. I'd like to roll with him. The white government encourages immigration because it benefits them. It may be bad or you don't like it, but the issue is the white government who does it. I mean, but again, who is encouraging the immigration though? Like, who is encouraging it? I think that the immigration just happens because other countries are not great. You know, there's a lot of problems around the world and people want to get out of those problems. So they come to other countries. Now, granted, I will account for the idea that not every single person that's coming in is one that you want to be there. There are going to be people of ill repute that come in because of that, you know? But that being said, I think that more far away, it's a lot of people who are trying to get out of bad situations and come into better ones. So where's the encouragement of it? Because as far as I see in the United States, everything is signaling the exact opposite right now. We have limited and altogether stopped immigration from pretty much almost everywhere outside of from outside places now. You know, that was like a Thanksgiving Day decree that the president just made. Oh, you know, no immigration across the board, basically. I think he said from like third world countries, but like that can, you know, how are you applying that? So whatever. Massive decrease in immigration legally and a rounding up of all quote unquote illegals as well. Obviously, there is a vested interest in them getting them out of the country right now. So where's the encouragement, I ask? 8% of the global population is white, yet they call everyone minorities in white countries. Is that the current makeup? What's the actual demographics? Cite your sources. Because in white countries, non-white people are the minority. I would guess, right? Your girlfriend and you are both white. If that makes you feel better, there you go. CTE. CTE is helping. CTE is helping the cause.
All right, let's get into this episode.
Let's go, Bryce.
The news segment we are adding this week for the entertainment of all the viewers is called Fake News. This is going to be rather relevant as we show you some actual stuff that's going on the news. Right here, hundreds quarantine as outbreak continues to spread among the unvaccinated. Hell, I think I'd rather hang out with the unvaccinated.
I mean, okay, so Daily Mail Australia does have the blue check. I was going to say this is from Facebook, it looks like. So automatically, I'm pressing X to doubt anything because Facebook is such a ridiculous repository for so overtly bullshit news, quote unquote. It's like such a disinformation on all sides of the political spectrum, just wildly flying around on Facebook in all facets. I mean, I'm in all kinds of fight groups and stuff on there, and the stuff that they post in there, like even within the fight world, is like, this is so clearly bullshit, yet some people just eat it up. So this is, like I said, check for the Daily Mail Australia. Hundreds quarantined as outbreak continues to spread among unvaccinated. And Bryce is saying that he would rather hang out with the unvaccinated. I mean, that's your choice, Bryce. If you die, you die. I mean, again, at this stage in time, no one is stopping you from making poor decisions.
Be honest. What's that say? The New York City drag march kicked off with the chant of...
But wait a second, though. Hold on. Sorry. Before he gets into this, that was just fake news. He doesn't qualify that at all. He doesn't actually debunk it. It's just, people are getting sick. Cases of viruses spreading amongst the unvaccinated. I'd rather hang out with the unvaccinated. Where's the fake news in there? Or, I mean, I'm not even saying that it is real news. I'm saying if you're going to call it fake news, this is your show to debunk it, Bryce. It's just, we all know that this is fake because it doesn't follow our narrative, so obviously it's fake news. Oh, come on, man. At least in Canada, the government pays partial wages of people on temporary work visas, so companies pay less salary. Also allowed student visas where you don't pay full fees and increased numbers. I mean, Canada's policies may be a little bit different than the United States and stuff. Um, Fair enough. I mean, look, if like I'm not even saying that like I'm not necessarily a person that believes in like open borders and that just you let anybody come and go as they please. Every country has immigration policy and every country has varying degrees of strictness that are associated with that. I am for greater and broader legal immigration, but we don't have a clear pathway to legal immigration. Like at least not in the United States currently. I've had a friend who is, I mean, I've know so many. I mean, I'm in South Florida, or I'm Central Florida, but I'm in Florida. Period. I know many people who are here, mostly legally, but like I know a mixture of all, and people who have been trying to go the legal route to get citizenship, and it is near impossible, even though they are doing everything right and acting as a legal citizen in every way and respect, except for having a piece of paper. So, what is the pathway for those people? I guess is the question. If there are different things going on in Canada as far as like trying to bring people in, that's a different story. I mean, didn't we just have that whole situation with the H-1B visas and stuff where Elon Musk was saying that like we need to have H-1B visas, even though that's basically people from other countries coming in to work. And everyone was like, well, wait a second. Why are those immigrants okay? I don't know. Again, these are all issues that are like, I just don't really personally care all that much about them, but it seems very dumb to care as much about it as some people do. I'm familiar with the city. Isn't it funny how little that town is the only one people have a problem with? Who has a problem with it? I don't have a problem with it. I think it's absolutely fine. Let them all go and stay there and be by themselves if they want to be. I have zero problem with there being a whites only city if that's what they want. Do I agree with it? No, but that's their right to do so if they want to freely associate. I mean, I think that there's probably legal restrictions on it based on the way that our laws are written, but free association, I got no problem with that. Keeps them out of broader society. Daily Mail, anything is usually clickbait bullshit. Fair enough. Yes, Daily Mail is an absolute rag. That is true. All my bitches look like Timothy Chalamet. Hey, somebody's okay with that. Not on Chairway's side. That's just an actual take I feel is backed in something. With the immigration issue? Yeah, like I said, I don't know enough about Canada's immigration policies to be able to comment on that. So I'd have to do some more research. You're more than welcome to post some stuff in the Discord. I will certainly read it. Canada also rectified that by having super high emigration and denial of student visas since the election. Okay, well then there you go. Maybe they're course correcting. And as I said, I am not for like just anybody come in and stay as long as you want and yada yada. I mean, I think that there should be a defined legal pathway to citizenship for people who prove their value, worth, and desire to become a member of that country. One thing that I do have to a certain degree of agreeance with is that I do believe that it's like the FDR quote, right? This is something that I listen to Philly on every once in a while, and I am a fan of that guy's stuff, even though I think his character is a little overblown. But he often references the FDR quote, where it's like, come into the country from wherever you come from, any ethnicity, race, creed, whatever. But if you come to America, you become an American, and you assimilate to the American culture, lifestyle, etc. I do think that there is something to that to an extent. Doesn't mean that you have to throw away everything that all of your previous country, religious values, ethnic values, all of those things. You don't have to throw them away. But there is a certain level of Americanness that you probably should have if you want to be an American. Like, I think that kind of makes sense. The same way that if I went over to any other country, if I went to Venezuela, it would be a little bit weird for me to just say, I'm here. I'm not speaking Spanish. I'm speaking English no matter what. You know, you're going to have to alter your society to accommodate me. Doesn't make sense. So I do agree with that to a certain extent. You're brainwashed yourself and you prefer big booty Latinas? Well, Chairway, how are you going to continue your pure whiteness that way? A. Nav, see you, bro. Andy, hope you're doing well. Merry Christmas to you, my guy. Didgeridoo Dave checking in. G'day, mate. How's it going down there? Hope you had a wonderful Christmas yesterday. All right, let's get more Bryce in here. Okay, so the New York City Drag March kicked off with a chant, "We're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children. You can't say they didn't warn you." Now this is something that I have heard and seen the gays doing, and they're doing it for this exact reason, to bait people like Bryce. I don't like that as a modus operandi for their side either. All right, let's call these spades where we see them. People like Bryce are looking for the things to go after you for. Them trying to be above it by saying, yeah, we're coming for your kids, whatever. I don't think it's a good tactic. I think that the greatest way, and I've talked about this a little bit on stream before, but the best way for homosexuals, transsexuals, basically all of the alphabet people, everybody in the LGBTQ plus division sign, all of those people, the best way for them to further their cause is to just act as regular people. Be amongst us in society, freely associating with people the way that you do, and you happen to be whatever one of those things that you are. I think that is how you normalize your lifestyle, is by having a somewhat normalized lifestyle, period, if that makes sense.
Of we're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children. Oh, hell no. Vaccines do not cause autism. Trust me, I went to school for this. I know more than you do about your own body.
Yeah, Bryce, this one here is one of the worst ones when it comes to this shit. Vaccines, the vaccines and autism link has been debunked so many fucking times and so absolutely thoroughly that this one I do have an actual legitimate stance on. All of the claims that vaccines cause autism came and originated from one study by a doctor who had a specific aim with the study. It was one of those, the same way that when the tobacco industry commissions a scientific report to validate what they want you to believe, that was what that study was. It was one person, one doctor doing that study. And from there, it was taken and ran with to the nth degree. It has been debunked so thoroughly. Also, we have seen time and time again, oh dear God, there were autistic people before vaccines. We did not have the system of diagnosis to diagnose autism the same way that we do now. We did not have the autism spectrum defined before this, but there are numerous accounts of people with autism before vaccines were around. So you just mean to tell me that all of a sudden vaccines are skyrocketing autism? Anyway, okay. This is the kind of shit. And yeah, Bryce, the people who went to school for it do know more about your body than you do. They're professionals. You are a fucking moron who gets punched in the head for a living. I don't know how much clearer to make it. The same way that a doctor shouldn't be in here telling you how to throw a punch or sink in a rear naked choke, you should not be telling them how to administer medicine. You dolt. Never publicly say we're coming for your kids no matter who you are. Yeah, that's exactly, Hydra. I think it's a very dumb tactic, even though I understand what they're trying to do, but it's not smart. It's just it's a stupid way to go about doing what they're trying to do. The shit pisses me off when it comes to healthcare. Yes, same. This one I have a legitimate stance on. It's absolutely ridiculous because it's been so thoroughly debunked over and over and over again. And everybody who believes this shit will just be like, nope. I get it from a different source. I've got it from, there's always a different source. There's always some other shit, you know? And it's always some other thing that just, you're too blind to see it. Even though we have years and years of peer-reviewed academic scholarship, academia in general that studies these things for the betterment of mankind, even though vaccines cured polio, even though vaccines now being reduced is bringing back diseases that have already been eradicated. No, there's always alternative facts. There's always better facts. Imagine people acting like this about a mechanic just because you went to a trade school and got certified it doesn't mean you know my car better than me. Exactly. No. I went to an alternative mechanic school. That means that the wireframe is different. You know, how you wire your car is different. You know, all of what you think you know about the mechanical elements of the combustion engine, it's all wrong because I know the better way. You know, the Bible told me the better way. Next time you get a real knot in your back, let your partner try to work it out for months before you acknowledge professionals exist for a reason and come see an RMT. Yeah, right. Exactly. You know, I mean, bro, we've literally had people, I mean, like the vaccine deniers that died during COVID. Like, there's that one really famous case of the guy who, like, was in the hospital. Basically, like, they were saying that, like, you know, we can treat you. We can probably, like, get you better or whatever. Like, you need to take the vaccine so you don't, like, get it worse again, I believe was the story. I might be getting some of those parts wrong. But the gist of it was that this guy was like, I'm going down with the ship. I am not believing or taking this vaccine, and now this guy is no longer with us. You know? And I'll let you know if my future kids have autism based on this vaccine, you know? Or wasn't it supposed to be aspirin that caused autism? I guess it's like a different thing every week. And why is it only autism that gets to be the thing that, like, is latched onto like this? Vaccines cause autism. Vaccines don't cause cancer or, any various other smattering of diseases, you know, rubella, mumps, measles. Guess those are the things that you get vaccinated for. So it wouldn't cause those. But why not that? Why not any other thing? Heart disease. It's always autism for some reason. No, it neither confirmed nor denied, meaning not debunked. What? Okay, dude. The science is very clear on these things. This one specifically. But again, you know, as I'm saying, there's always alternative facts. There's always alternative facts. People who take singular non-peer-reviewed case studies that side with their weird idea than a meta-analysis of the most current scientific journals. Yep. People love to do that. Yeah. Again, it's, and like, bro, I swear to God, like, all of these things, this is why, like, the internet is the best and worst thing to ever happen. Because, like, on the one hand, you get all of the knowledge that has ever been in human existence, you know, in the palm of your hand on your phone. And at the same time, I can doctor a scientific looking paper. Bro, you know, if I was an ill-intended person with the vocabulary that I have, not trying to pat myself on the back, just saying that I know that, you know, I speak pretty eloquently and can write pretty eloquently. I could go through and write you a thesis paper 50 pages long that says everything that you want it to say. Print it out, double spaced, you know, University of California at Santa Monica, put that out there, send it somewhere, post it on a website, and now you pick that up and there's your source. Easy as pie.
The State Department is changing its mind about what it calls human rights. Yeah, they're going to take all your human rights until there ain't no more humans left.
Well, I mean, that's not wrong. But it's funny that, like, we both can agree on that, but it's like two different applications of that, you know?
mRNA vaccine trains the immune system to stay calm instead of launching dangerous allergic reactions. Huh. Sounds like they've changed their policy because their old vaccines gave so many dangerous allergic reactions. Well, that's great to know.
If it's an improvement on the vaccine, then is that not a good thing? A. B, allergic reactions that eventually helped keep people alive? Is that the problem? Like, that's still a bad thing. It's still a bad thing. People got allergic reactions to it. Because I know that there were people that had some problems with the vaccine. I didn't, you know, I mean, I got it and fucking didn't, you know, whatever. It like was painful in the injection place for a little bit and it was fine. But I know other people said, oh, it felt like getting hit by a baseball bat, whatever. Like, so, okay, you know, but like, so they're improving certain things, it would seem. I don't know. Again, it's hard to like even know what he's getting at with some of this shit because the way he's framing what he's reading doesn't say anything about what the actual story is. Plus, you know, this is a great example in general. What we're doing right here, right now with Bryce is how people ingest news, period. We are sitting here and commenting on the headlines. Bryce not going any deeper than that, not reading the actual article. Headline says something, that's all we see and all we think about with it. Something I criticize my podcast co-host Chase Parton for. It's like if you're going to post an article, you might want to actually see what it actually says, you know? Doesn't mean that you have to go too deep into it, but at least get the gist of it more than just the headline. Oh, and the headline is the gist. Well, I'm talking about going a little bit deeper than that. I love vaccines. I'm so lucky to grow up in a generation where I didn't watch my childhood friends die and become crippled from horrific diseases. Exactly, Hydra. Exactly. Vaccines have done tremendous things for humanity, and people who are against them want to undo those tremendous things. And we have been seeing this happening with the rise of mumps and measles again. Diseases that were all but eradicated, coming back. Whooping cough, coming back. Doctors don't learn about vaccines unless it's in their spare times, believe it or not. What? Cite your sources. I love the Amish Hydra. They never went extinct, did they? Nah. I mean, I guess there is something to that. Danny Hustle Official. I mean, polio was caused by a neurotoxin in pesticides, so is this mainstream narrative versus alternative? I mean, there can be. Like, I'm not saying that there like are not links to like between anything ever. I'm just saying that like the link between autism and vaccines has already been debunked. It was a specifically false claim to begin with that was taken and ran with. So, yeah, I mean, there are things that cause other things. I mean, smoking causes lung disease. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there is something to it. But to say, oh, all vaccines do this thing and that vaccines are dangerous in general, I think is a broad overstep and also false. COVID vaccine is giving people myocarditis, cancer, and blood clots. I mean, okay, look, show me. and show, I mean, like, and show the specific link, specifically show the specific link that has been cited to that directly. Headline and call it a day like an average person. But see, that's the problem, Chase. This is the problem. We must be beyond the average. What sets you apart? The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra. We must be better. It's our job.
The unexpected ways vaccines could boost your health. Well, now instead of killing yourself in a matter of seconds, you can actually stretch out your death over several long, agonizing months so all your family can suffer along with you.
So, I mean, if that's the case, then, I mean, where, like, I need to see where there is a clear line that is drawn from the vaccine itself and the genetic makeup of the vaccine to whatever the end result is. That is a straight line, one to the other. If you can show all of that to me, and it's, again, something that is peer-reviewed, scientifically verified, perfectly fine. But again, those scientists aren't my scientists, and your scientists are bought off by big government and blah, 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 blah. It's just a never-ending cycle of bullshit. Vaccine logic equals train your body by exposing your immune system to the code of specific, dangerous, preventable diseases. I mean, there's partially that. I mean, isn't that how they say, like, when you get the flu shot, you're basically just getting a mild version of the flu? It takes 10 years to ready a vaccine for the public. Never heard of an mRNA vaccine being used before COVID. They used you as guinea pigs. If it was safe and effective, you wouldn't have needed 3 of them. I mean, it takes 10 years for a vaccine to ready a vaccine for the public. I mean, sure, it probably should have, but there was a more immediate need for something to be done at the time. So, I mean, yeah, to an extent, I think people had to sort of be guinea pigs to a minor extent, but like it had to happen if people needed it. So, I mean, yeah, there might have been some level of, concern about it, but I think that they would have done as much testing as they possibly could have to have gotten it out. Like, they're not just this is, I think, the part of the problem is this idea that, like, who gains from hurting people that way? Like, I don't understand this thought process. These people who are expressly bound by the Hippocratic Oath to save lives and prevent deaths, them trying to do that, where is the benefit of them actually doing harm instead? Like, you're just saying that, oh, well, if that's what you're saying, is that, like, oh, they rushed it out too early in the hopes of doing something good and might have inadvertently done something bad, maybe I could lend a little bit of credence to that, even though I've seen plenty of people, pretty much, I mean, I'd say the majority of people, maybe there are isolated cases otherwise, but most people who got the vaccines are fine, I would say. I mean, maybe, look, I say, show me alternative realities there, and I'll evaluate, I guess. But if the idea is that there is a need, we are trying to fill the need to save lives. We have to do these things in order to accomplish that goal. What, I mean, like, you're like, oh, well, they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have tried to save those people. I mean, okay, look, and if you want to be amongst that camp that's just like, yeah, a lot of people just should have died, that's your right to do so, I believe. I mean, you can say that that's somewhat callous, I would suppose. The guy who used to own the brewery I work at chose not to get the COVID vaccine. He died as a healthy 40-year-old man. Ba-dum-bum.
State Department issued this statement. Traveling to a country with a level 4 travel advisory, you could face wrongful detention, kidnapping, and death. And don't worry, they're not talking about ICE. ICE has only killed like 25 people this year.
I mean, Bryce does actually seem to have a pretty good basis when it comes to the ICE detentions and stuff like that. It's very strange where Bryce draws the lines. Because Mexicans, okay. Gays, not okay. Jews, definitely not okay. Blacks, okay? Question mark? Spanish? Okay, other than Mexican. Odd. You know, I just don't know where the lines are with Bryce. Muslims, okay, obviously. It's not the Muslims, he says.
Thank y'all so much for having me again. And last week, I was teaching a lesson on paying your car off, and I
Bryce, it's your show. No one's having you.
saw a lot of positive comments. Number one comment that I would say in reference to all my statements that I made was, hey, Mr. Bryce, I've got a work truck. It's on a payment plan, and I have to have this work truck, even though I can't pay it off immediately. It's making me money. Well, guess what? You pass Bryceonomics. If you are using a work vehicle or a vehicle to get you back and forth to work, which pretty much is a work vehicle at that point, and you're using your job money to pay it off and you can afford it, guess what? You're doing good. You're doing great, actually. Okay. You have a job and you have a vehicle that you can get there to and fro. That's what you need.
Sound advice from Bryce. Maybe there's something to Bryceonomics. See, we can find a common ground here. Bryce saying, you're doing good. Work vehicle, to and fro. I like it. I'm okay with this. Bryce getting some points finally. Jesus met a Mexican in the Bible probably, but never a gay. You know, we could solve so many problems if there really was just a time machine that could go back to when that Bible was written by man and just change a couple of descriptors. You know? Fucking Paul. You know? Paul the Apostle. Maybe he was a little questionable, you know? I don't pick one, you know? St. James. You know, just a little, I don't know. Something a little weird about that guy, you know? When he would converse with the Romans, he kind of had a little limp in his wrist, you know?
Okay. We want to minimize these big payments though, and try to pay that car off quicker than 7 years. Try to get that car paid off in 3 years. Okay. I'm just making up numbers. 3's a lot better than 7. Okay.
You're just making up numbers, Bryce. You're just making up numbers. You're supposed to be the guy with the facts and logic, Bryce. You can't make up numbers.
That's what you need. Okay. We want to minimize these big payments though, and try to pay that car off quicker than 7 years. Try to get that car paid off in 3 years. Okay. I'm just making up numbers. 3's a lot better than 7. Okay. Pay that car off quickly as possible. Pay that truck off quickly as possible. And if it is a work truck, try to get the smallest engine that you can to save on gas. I'm telling you, there's a big difference in a 4-cylinder, a V6, and a V8. Okay.
This is good advice. That's legitimately good advice. Bryce is cooking on this one.
When it comes to fuel consumption, that's going to be your number one cost if you really do have a work vehicle, is your fuel. Promise. You can also bike if you're living in town. You don't need a car. Okay. I wanted to add that in just to let y'all know, if you can't afford none of this stuff, get a bike. Okay. You can go miles and miles on a bike. It's also great exercise. I used to do that when I lived in town.
Bro, Bryce with the big facts on that one. Where is walkable cities when it comes into this whole equation in the ethno state? How many all-white cities are going to be walkable? I need to be able to get to and fro from my residence to my place of employment. Can I walk? Can I bike? These are the big questions. How is the white nationalist going to solve the problem of city planning? These are the big questions.
Also, I really hyped up last week the Toyota Corolla because I think that it is the king of the roads. And the reason being because the Toyota Corolla is known million-mile makers, okay? Toyota Corollas, it is not uncommon at all for those little four-cylinder engines to make it to 1,000,000 miles. And for the price that you get them for, that's why I think Toyota Corolla is number one. That's what I have. It lives up to the hype. It does the job every time. But they're
not going to lie. Speaking to me on a very personal level with that one, the Corolla is the GOAT of cars. This is true. I, of course, notoriously not a car person. Corolla for that exact reason. Please, God, just let Bryce do a full read of the Bible front to back with his thoughts whenever he wants. I need to know how we interpret the same passages. Oh, he'll tell you. I mean, he won't get, full read. I do like that as an idea. Donate to his Patreon. Maybe he'll do it. You want to know how Bryce reacts to the New Testament specifically? I mean, he'll tell you. Bro, we're probably going to get it over the course of this series, just reacting to all of these episodes. Cool story, CTE. I chose not to get the vaccine, and I'm still here annoying people that have never been wrong about anything in their life. I guess me and your bartender canceled everything out. Yeah, pretty much two sides of the same coin. Bryce Mitchell supports soy and gay cyclists. Yeah, I mean it's true. Well, you can't have a banana seat on the bike. That's obviously not acceptable. Bike must have a seat. But yeah, Bryce on the cyclist train. This is true. Cyclists, people who generally piss me off to no end, actually. I'm not a big fan of cyclists. They take over the road and think they are entitled to where the cars go. Roads are where the cars go, but there should be bike lanes. So these are, again, city planning is a big part of all of this. And I need to know where these ethno-nationalists are going to make the fixes. Because God forbid we live in the neo-utopia that these people want, and I can't walk to work. The two things do not jive. Yeah. Can't wait till you get slept again. Yeah. We love Bryce around here. Even when he's twitching. You disagree? Bryce, 3 big booty Latinas is not more than 7 big booty Latinas. That's legitimate, huge facts. Cyclists act like how white supremacists say immigrants do. Yo, damn. Roasting those cyclists. I like it. Move to Maine, Vermont, or New Hampshire. Lowest crime rates, highest percentage of white people. Well, I mean, which one of those states do you live in? Your bike has no seats, just a dildo. It protects me from getting raped. I mean, you cannot dildo the willing. Wait, what? Not going to catch me walking around Detroit at night or getting a mystery shot outside of a Walmart bathroom for a free donut. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, again, you're making it a racial thing, but really it's a socioeconomic thing.
There are a lot of great cars. You don't have to have a Toyota Corolla. I want to make that clear. I didn't emphasize last week how many great older car options that there are. Okay, so all of these cars that I'm about to list are phenomenal. They have great engines for the most part, and if you get a manual transmission, they're generally great as well, and you'll get a lot of longevities out of this list of cars that I've come up for this week, okay, because I wanted to add this to the list. Last week, I said Toyota Corolla. I want to say Camry also. I also mentioned the Nissan Altimas and Maximas in manual.
Women's cars.
Of the 90s, okay, pre-CVT. Also, I have to say, Honda Civic and Honda Accord. That should be assumed, okay, but I did.
okay, let me tell you something about Honda real quick, all right? Honda somehow gets lumped in with reliable cars. I had a Honda Civic as my first car. It was the worst lemon I have ever had in my life. That thing was breaking down the second I drove it off the lot. Now, granted, it was used, but still, all of this bullshit about reliability when it comes to Honda, I do not believe. I believe that cars are often like cell phones. What I mean by that is that cell phones, every person has a cell phone that they have said, this is the best cell phone. It's never broke on me. I've had great experiences with it. And I'll get that same phone and have a nightmare experience with it. Reverse that. I will have a phone that's been great for me. Other people will say, that thing sucked. It broke on me the first week I had it. So there are some cars that buck that trend. I think Toyota is one of them. But I cannot tell. I will never drive a Honda again after having that first Honda. And that was like a 2001, I believe, Civic. So just saying.
Didn't say that last week. Honda Civic and Honda Accord. Oh my goodness. And when it comes to these small cars, guys, you'll notice the Japs make them better. Stop having all this pride in your heart. Yeah, the Americans can make better pickup trucks, but it's 100 out of 100 times the Japs make better small cars.
The who? Excuse me? Say that to Tatsuro Taira. See what happens. What did you call me? Yavma yelling about Vaccine Misinformation Association. It's one of the few, like, political things, you call it, become politicized, but it's one of the few things that I do have a somewhat strong stance on in that way. Was it a 2002 through 2005 Civic? No, I believe it was a 2001. Either that or a 2000. Right before that. Aren't Hondas supposed to be cheap to repair, not necessarily reliable? That could be. If that's what the case is, then okay. But if you have to repair it 800 times, then it no longer stays cheap, you know? Hondas are generally top 3 most reliable brands year over year since the 90s. Well, not for me. Anecdotal evidence. Hydra, you obviously don't know anything about Dearborn, Michigan, or Minnesota. Go frolic in the ghetto after dark singing Kumbaya. Tell me how that goes. Those cities that you just mentioned are generally very safe, actually. I know exactly what you're talking about. The majority Muslim populations in those cities generally have very low crime rates, from what I understand. But, again, alternative facts. 2007 Honda Accord, and I stopped replacing the starter in 2023. Well, there you go. Speaking these facts out for me, I don't even need to say it.
I don't care what you say about made in America this, made in America that. I have to get to work in my car. I love Japanese cars from the 90s, okay? These newer ones are all gate out with electronics. The old ones are great. Another one, Lincoln Town Car. Say about made in America this, made in America that. I have to get to work in my car. I love Japanese cars from the 90s, okay? These newer ones are all gate out with electronics.
Fellas, is it gay for your car to have electronics?
The old ones are great. Another one, Lincoln Town Car and Grand Marquis. Okay, some gangster cars finally, okay, with some V8s. That's right. If you need something that's just, car style but can pull a little bit more, trust me, I see plenty of brothers pulling around their fishing boats with Grand Marquis, okay? I'm just saying they're great cars. For trucks, I didn't say anything about Chevy trucks. Pretty much all old school Chevy trucks are great. Look up the engine on your Chevy trucks. There are some engines back in the day that had significant problems, especially with the electronics.
Chevys drive like shit. Just, again, anecdotal, but I hate driving Chevys. Trucks or sedans. The way that Chevys handle is like, I do not like it. But, to each their own.
But look that up. That was some of the one.
Electronics is gay? Okay, confirmed. Tech equals gay nerd. Got you. Got you. Okay. I'm learning. I'm learning new things today too. Bryce is educating me here. I'm radicalization in real time happening on the stream. I used to have a 2015 Toyota RAV4 and loved it. Yes, I've heard RAV4s are very good. Actually, I used to have a friend of mine back in high school had a RAV4. Drove that thing well into college. I mean, he had it. God, I forget what year his was. His was, I think, probably like a 2004, maybe 2003. And he drove that thing well into like 2018, 2019, from what I understand. Toyotas just keep going. Damn right. Yeah, Toyota literally go. Very true. When Indians are shitting in your creek and all the fish die, maybe you'll be a good. Okay, all right. Yeah, well, all right. I mean, the Indians shitting in public situation is a little bit of a different story, I would say. Yeah, there are limits. there are certainly limits to what is socially acceptable, and that certainly is not it. Everything older than old S10s is slop from Chevy. Yeah, I mean, it's not even about the year for me. It's just about the fact that they handle like shit. I hate driving them. Unironically, all of us learning from Bryce, forgetting he's pro white supremacy because he knows cars have. Yeah, exactly. Because he knows cars. Yeah, no, dude, I mean, broken clocks are right twice a day. Is what I say. Hey, Chi Wee Wee. KK boy hitting up the super chat over here. She gonna call me baby boy. Brother, the first super chat coming in. Thank you very much for confirming that the super chats work. I didn't even announce that to everybody, but big announcement, y'all. Super chats are open, and now we know that they work. So thank you very much, KK boy. She is gonna call you. That's absolutely the truth. She gonna call you, brother. Baby Booa. Baby Boo? I assume. But yes, very much appreciated for that super chat. The first ever super chat. You just saw it right here, right now. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. Incredibly gay to have electronics in your car. Source Liberace. Liberace said that? Did he have a souped up, what was he, 80s? Was Liberace 70s or 80s? He would have had probably the earliest and thus gayest car with electronics. What's HH stuff? Happy holidays. Yeah, I did read it. You don't get those there? Well, you're getting it here. Yeah, she gonna call me baby boo. I get it. All right. Well, thank you again.
Ones that were more new, not too old. The ones that are really, really old are really, really good. But as they get newer, the electronics get more fancy and tend to fail more. Okay. That's like the same with any brand. Okay. And Ford, they have so many cars. All I said about Ford was the Rangers. The Ford also has all types of F100s, F250s.
Another Didgeridoo Dave donating $5 through the super chat system. Gingerly. Can we whoa, hold on a second. It went away. Fuck yeah, we can send money now. Yes, you can. Thank you so much for doing so. Good Lord. Appreciate the support coming in the very first ever super chat enabled live stream. Y'all are crushing the game right now. Thank you guys. Much appreciated. Blood to blood right there. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Oh, and KK Boy again with the 99-cent super sticker. Anxious face with sweat. The with sweat, very important there. Yo, guys, Appreciate you very much. Thank you so much. Chee wee wee on those.
50s, F-150s, and F-350s, okay? So almost all the Ford trucks are great, but not all of them, okay? Be careful of the engine that you pick. And every single car I just talked about is great. And don't forget Mazda Miata manual, okay? Also, too,
God forbid any of
I'm
you
going to talk
ever...
about the
Whoa,
greatest
the fuck?
engine.
God forbid any of you ever join the Miata cult. This is real. I don't know if you know about this. This is kind of deeper lore if you are not in that circle. Jesus Christ. Another $50 Australian coming in from Davos. Bro, go get yourself a blowy, brother. Oh. I'm feeling the love right now. Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas indeed, guys. Thank you so much, Davos. Brother, Davos, KK boy, Chee Wee Wees are fucking going off the rails right now. Good Lord. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Blowies for everyone. As I was saying, the Miata cult is a real thing. You get a Miata, you become a Miata person, okay? This is the same with Jeeps. You don't want to be this, all right? This you want to stay away from all cult-like mentalities. Bryce Mitchell should teach you something about this, but him saying to get a Miata, I don't care what the gas mileage is looking like on a Miata. You do not want to be in the Miata cult. The same way you do not want to be in a Jeep with a row of rubber duckies on your windshield, okay? Stay away from this. It had a tape deck, Heil Charlie Chaplin. Miatas are okay, way overrated, yet another very homosexual mode of transportation. Bryce endorses, yo. I did once hear that if you get a Miata, it comes with a scarf. Cannot confirm nor deny this, but questionable at best. Italy? Could be. Yeah, I'm about to... Oh, brother, I am on the verge. On the verge. Because of y'all. The support, I'm feeling it. Thank you, guys. Good Lord. Blowing up the super chat system on day one. This is amazing. Good Lord. Y'all are the realest of real ones.
Ever made. Pound for pound, the 4.9, the Ford 300 straight six, okay? From all the mechanics I've talked to, from all the stuff I've read, the 4.9, the straight six that the Ford made is the best, most reliable engine. And what I like about this straight six here is that you're getting a lot of torque for the country boys who like to tow. That's what I need. I don't want stuff that uses up a lot of fuel. I just want stuff with high torque so I can pull relatively slowly.
If you're going American, that's not probably a bad one, honestly. Straight six for an American made, I'm okay with that. But really, you're still not going to be beating the Japanese cars. You know what I mean? Like, that's if you are like dead set on going with a Ford.
Compared to the traffic around me, okay? And with the Ford straight six, you get all that torque with great gas mileage, and more than anything, the longevity of the motor. All of these cars I just talked about, they're on the list because they're cheap and they have longevity. They will last hundreds.
Again, your mileage may vary, no pun intended on that, especially when it comes to the American cars. Even the ones he referenced.
And thousands of miles for all of my cheap bastard friends. That's what we like. Okay, so we're doing Bryceonomics, and guess what? It's Christmas week. So let me tell you something. I'm going to give y'all a great economic plan for how to spend your Christmas.
When are we getting to how it was gayed out, Bryce? You're baiting and switching us on the title of this episode. I don't want a fucking economics lesson. Tell me about the gays.
Since it's Christmas week, I thought we'd talk about giving gifts. Don't bankrupt your family. You're not impressing Jesus, and you're not impressing the world by spending thousands and
Jesus just pulls the GSP on you. He sees you holding like some expensive toaster or some shit. He's just like, I'm sorry. I am not impressed by your toaster. Well, damn, Jesus. I spent $400 on this toaster. It's a 4-slice toaster. Jesus. Sorry. Not impressed. Well, damn it. Fuck am I supposed to celebrate your birthday?
thousands of dollars on gifts that your family does not truly need. Okay. Good gifts are often actually better than expensive gifts. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. And I'm going to give you examples of how I give great gifts, but they're also very cheap, relatively. Okay, so a good gift is going to be stuff that people actually use every single day, no matter if it's Christmas or not. It's not high-priced junk that you would never buy yourself. That's not a good gift. There's a reason we don't buy ourselves extravagant things all the time, because
Bryce is going to recommend that you buy people shampoo for Christmas. Mark my words here. What he's saying, though, and I mean, we'll let him say it, but what he's getting at, though, I actually do kind of fuck with, because I have a very specific gift-giving method myself. It's called the concentric circles theory. This is something that you can use as well. Maybe this is what Bryce is going to tell us, but I'll tell it to you first, and we'll see if it matches up. Basically, my gift-giving method starts off where you take the person, that's the center, right? It's the center of the circle. And then you think about the things that they actually like in their life. And you go in concentric circles going outward like a ripple. So if I know that, let's take, KK boy coming through again with the $2. RAF 5 watch along. Brother, that can happen. That can definitely happen. Yes. I know I skipped out on the last RAF. Now that Yoel Romero is taking on Colby, I think, right? Whoever. Doesn't matter. That can absolutely happen. Thank you very much for the donation. RAF watch along on deck. Yes, indeed. Anyway, so as I said, take me as a person, right? I like MMA. I like movies. I like music. And if you know me, you know some of the bands and some of the movies that I like, right? So you take that. Circle number 1, MMA. MMA related gifts in circle number 1. Circle number 2, movies. What movies do I like? Put those in circle number 2. Circle number 3, music. A couple of my favorite bands. Find things within those circles as your gifts. This is the theory. Thank you again for the donation. Appreciate it. Just because he drilled his nutsack into a sloppy mess doesn't mean the earth is round and vaccines don't cause autism. Yeah, well, I mean, these are... Both can be true, though. That's not true, and he did do that. They are not mutually exclusive things. Or actually, I guess technically they would be exclusive things. Jesus, take the drill. Yeah. I kissed a Mexican once. His mustache tickled. Let's go. Was his name Lazy Boy? Because if it was, got some red lips. You respect the commitment on the flat earther too? Yeah, true. Yeah, bro has been seriously whatever pilled in some form. My girl is my world, so the earth isn't ever flat. Yo, hey, I like that. I mean, fat bottom girls do make the rockin' world go round, right? Obviously, Freddie Mercury wouldn't be steering us down the flat earth path. Fat bottom girls do not make the rockin' world go flat. They make them go round. There's a reason that the globe is the shape that it is. It's because of big booty Latinas. Come on, people, keep up.
we just don't need them. Okay, we need everyday items. Like I said, consumerism does not impress Jesus, and you need to be as conservative as humanly possible while still being considerate to your friends and family. Great gift ideas. Okay, so this is where I'm really good at coming up with gifts on a budget. First thing you need to do to get some good gifts for the down low price, you need to
The
buy in
what?
bulk.
Pardon? The what price? I do not think that that phrase means what you think it means.
What do you buy in bulk? Ammo, okay? Coffee
Yes.
beans, honey, deer sausage. And if your wife makes baked goods, bam, baked goods. Okay. All of these things are great gifts. So let me explain. If you buy ammunition, okay, for yourself, you can go into the store and get 25 shotgun shells, you know, shoot, depending on the quality of it, let's just say $10 a box. But if you buy in bulk, and you buy 10,000 shells, you can get a lot better of a deal. So I'm telling you right.
Could you ever imagine a world where you would need 10,000 shells for your shotgun? What the fuck are you doing out there? 10,000? So if it's a double barrel, right? That means it would be 5,000 shots. You would have to shoot your shotgun 5,000 times to ever go through that. And that's one purchase. I mean, I get what he's saying, though. You take that and you ration it off. You give that ammo away. Why did I not think to get my mother ammunition for Christmas? This is a missed opportunity. Hey, TJF, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Happy holidays to you as well, my friend. Great to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. I hope you had a very, very Merry Christmas, my man. She was fat and ugly, but that kiss made me so toey. I wanted to fuck immediately, but unfortunately she was driven away from the party. Was an 18-year-old or an 18 birthday. You two were 18. Okay, well, thank God for that. Congratulations on your solo Mexican experience, my friend. Nothing like waking up next to a big booty Latina. God bless the U.S. of motherfucking A. Beeb knows all. This is why you are the GOAT, Beeb. Don't get it twisted. Here's how you spend less money: just buy 100 times more stuff at once. It was so obvious all along. Yeah, I'm loving this thought process. This is really great. I do get what he's saying, though. If you're already going to be buying 10,000 shells of ammunition, then just give away some of that. You are already making the purchase. This is like with me with Red Bull. You know, I can buy Red Bull in bulk because there's no way I'm not going to use it. Similar to Bryce, there's no way that he's not going to use 10,000 shells. He can get rid of a couple hundred to give to his boys. Come on, easy. 324 predictions. Owen Mania, good to see you. We will be doing predictions for 324 on the podcast. That is Monday nights on last week's fights. Don't know exactly when we're going to be doing 324 just yet, but it will be the week before the event comes up. So I will give our full predictions on the on that episode of the podcast. Make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure you're hitting that little bell icon to know that when to get notified when we go live. Monday nights, generally at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is the podcast Last Week's Fights, where myself and Chase Parton will give all of our predictions. We got Bryce for Christmas. Yes, the fuck we did. We haven't even gotten into how the gaying has happened yet. God, we're taking a while on this one. I knew it would be. Anytime that Bryce is on, it's always going to be a long show. Is RAF on right now? No, hell no, it's not on right now, right? No, there's no way they did a Christmas Day show, right? For Christmas, we should listen to new Polo T song coming out at midnight, brother. Link up the Polo T. If we don't do it on this episode, on this stream, we will definitely do it on stream if you want to. Can definitely do that. We'll do it on the Friday show. James, do you buy the 48 pack of Red Bull? If not, you should. I've been thinking about doing the 20 pack. I'm not going to lie. I think they have a 24 pack. I have been considering it. Because I go through the 4 packs like fucking water. It's really bad. Bryce learns from me. Don't get it twisted like his nutsack in a drill pit. Let's go. Well, I mean, you certainly have a lot to say, so maybe Bryce did pick up a little bit from you. I wonder if Bryce suddenly trusted medical professionals when he needed his nutsack stitched. No, bro. If they said that he needed a vaccine for any of the potential airborne illnesses that may have infected it, he would have said, fuck no. Let my nutsack get gangrene like a real man. Duh.
Now, if you want to get a man a good gift, get yourself a whole bunch of ammo in bulk, okay? Because when you get ammunition in bulk, you're going to get tens and thousands of rounds, and you got it for such a great deal, you'll be happy to give your buddy 100 shells or 1,000 shells, okay? Really shell out the love this season, okay? So ammo is an acceptable
what you
gift.
did
It
there.
always is, because it's never really a waste of money, okay? It could really be used to save your life in an emergency. No man will.
Yeah, 5,000 shells of life-saving ammunition. Look, I'm pro gun over here, okay? All my boys are packing. I have nothing against firearms. I am an American through and through. It is just astounding to me how far some people take it. My one boy, I'm. If you know gun people, you know this exact type of person. I have a friend who will just buy a gun at random, just because. Guy has 37 guns. Why do you need all of those guns? You can't shoot them all at once. At max you can shoot, I think, 4 guns total, and you have to be really well trained with your feet if you're trying to pull all 4 triggers at once. So 4 is the max. Unless you are, Chuck Norris, Chael Sonnen, and can shoot with your dick. That's mastery right there. If you can literally pull the trigger of a gun with your own gun. I mean, that's next level. That's some different shit. But barring that, 4 guns total at any given time, yet you have 37 of them. Just likes them. I don't know.
Will be mad that you got them ammo. In fact, they'll be rather happy. Coffee beans, okay? That's one gift that I do. I buy my coffee beans. I'm sponsored by Killshot Coffee. I get all of my coffee beans.
Whoever said coffee sponsorship, you get a point.
Straight from Colombia. I buy them 160.
What? You get it from Colombia? Get your cars from Japan and your coffee from Colombia? What kind of American are you, Bryce? Jesus doesn't approve. I didn't see anywhere in the Bible where Jesus got his coffee from Colombia or his cars from Japan. Where did Jesus get his first automobile from? I need to know. Which book of the Bible had his first automotive purchase?
60 pounds at a time. So at Christmas, I take coffee beans, I roast them and grind them down and give them out and in jars that are this size right here. And that's actually some of the coffee I'm drinking right now is from the coffee grinds that I'm talking about.
Bryce just rolls up to the party with a bunch of mason jars full of coffee grounds for you. Thanks, Bryce. I fucking invited this guy.
So when you're given a gift like coffee grinds for Christmas, all you have to do is, spend about $500, get a big 160-pound bag of coffee beans, and bam, you got coffee for a year. And when you want to give a gift, you have so much coffee that you're happy to give some of it. It's amazing. Another thing that I stockpile, honey. Honey is money. Yes, I bought 225 gallons of honey at once. Okay?
God damn.
Yes, you heard that correctly. I bought 225 gallons of honey. Yes, it cost $6,000. I get it.
Jesus. Bryce spent $6,000 on honey. This is the man that you want to be getting your economic advice from. $6,000 worth of honey. Talk about a problem. I don't even like honey like that. I mean, obviously Bryce must. I didn't know anybody liked it like that. $6,000 worth of honey? Should have just bought a fucking bee farm at that point. Bought the hive or whatever, you know? Couldn't you buy your own bees and do... I mean, Bryce Mitchell, of all people, I would think he would already be a beekeeper. Maybe he's one of the people that Candace Owens was talking about. Ooh, you want to go down that rabbit hole? Vaccines cause homosexuality? Guilty as charged. CTE, ring makers of Saturn, everyone. Oh, I don't know what that means. Bryce Mitchell podcast, not gay enough. Not yet, anyway. We're supposed to be getting to it. Just a few more days until Ryzen and you don't have to listen to my worldviews, brother. Yes, keep me honest about the Ryzen card. I am looking forward to this. I want to do the Ryzen card. I really want to make that happen. I still need to get the link for the pay-per-view. Somebody hook me up with the actual direct pay-per-view link so we can make this happen. Honestly, I don't understand the gun people. I got the car and MMA autism instead of guns. Yeah, the guns. I just don't. I understand wanting to have a gun. I don't understand people who have an entire arsenal and do what with it. Look at it, man. I got a whole lot of guns. You know, it's like I guess you can go out and shoot each individual one. I don't know. Look, I say that, and I've got an entire shelf's worth of DVDs. So. Different strokes, I guess, but it's just very strange to me to have that many guns. Again, different proclivities. Seems like Bryce's good gifts are just stuff he already buys in bulk, then gives away. I think that this is the hack he's trying to get at here. Coffee is toxic. There's a reason people add creamer and sweetener. Bro, I could not agree more. I have hated coffee since I was a young lad. And growing up into adulthood, I still hate coffee. That is why when I started to need caffeine as I have gotten old and no longer have the energy reserves of a younger man, I have invested in Red Bull as opposed to going the coffee route, because coffee tastes like drinking a worn sock that's still inside a leather boot. Take a leather boot with a sock in it that has been worn, pulverize that down into liquid form, put cream and sugar into it, and drink it. Does not compute to your boy. Your goat got banned? What are you talking about? From here? Oh, the Clav. Wait, so yeah, Clav. What happened with Clav now? Why is Clav coming up so fucking much? Was he's big into BJJ now? Is that what's going on? D Army or Darmy. You can never have enough guns. See, but I don't understand why. Why can you never have enough? Because to me, one would be enough. Again, I am pro-gun. I just don't understand why you need an arsenal of them. DVDs don't kill people, though? Yeah, I mean, that I think would be the difference, is that each one of my DVDs has a different story on it, has a different tale and different elements to it. There's a variety and uniqueness to it. Each gun shoots bullet. Yeah, no? That's a good deal on the honey. I $6,000 for, what did he say? However many gallons? 200 plus? That's a fuck ton of honey. Good Lord. I could never imagine wanting or needing that much, even if I was going to give away a good amount of it. Like, goddamn, you must have a lot of friends who all also like honey.
Okay, but with that $6,000, you have so many calories. I give out so much honey, it ain't even funny. I'm just telling you, when you
Bars.
stockpile food, ammunition, and any type of medical supplies, you'll realize you get it for a great deal the more you buy in bulk. And like I said, when you have bulk supplies, you're generally happy about sharing with others. And so
Bryce, stockpiling medical supplies is one of the scariest things I have ever heard.
I do share coffee, honey, ammo, deer jerky.
Wait, hold on a second. Clav killed someone? Hold, please. Did he for real run someone over? He killed him. Just watch the clip. Oh. Can you post it in the Discord, please? I'll check that after the stream. You tuned in for the last Never Disappointed. Didgeridoo Dave, appreciate you, bro. We'll keep it we'll keep it on the positive tip right now. But yeah, if Clav legitimately killed someone, that's wow. That's pretty crazy. That's wild. All right. I'll follow up on that.
Turkey and baked goods with all of my friends and family every Christmas. Speaking of deer sausage, if you kill a deer, share some of the deer sausage with your buddies, because
I mean, that should just be commonplace, right? I mean, if you're out there hunting full on animals like that, you know, animals that yield a good amount of meat, I would assume that you're giving away at least some of that meat, for fuck's sake. How much of any one animal can you eat all on your own? I had a friend who bagged a deer, and I was eating fucking venison for weeks. This dude would not let me escape the venison. Tasted good too, by the way. I'm a venison fan. Got to be well prepared, but if you do it right, that's good eating.
because remember, God gave you that deer, and it's great to share. Okay, that does count as tithing, actually.
Bro, 2 birds, 1 stone. Deer meat from the hunt plus your tithing. Brother, Bryce, the hacks keep coming, people.
If you shoot a big old buck and you grind it up and cook it up for your buddies and you share that, yeah, that is tithing, because you're giving something to others that the Lord provided to you. Okay. In fact, I'd argue it's a better gift than giving somebody money.
No. I would argue the other way. I don't know if he's dead, but the guy jumped on his hood and he straight up ran him over. You hear the man scream after being ran over, and Clav said, "Is he dead? I hope so," with no emotion. Yikes, dude. Yikes, dude. Good Lord. He saw the Raja stream and said, "Hold my beer." What the fuck? It was a clout chaser from another stream who harasses streamers. Oh, God. Well, it's the fucking dumb eating the dumb, apparently. Oh, good Lord. Wow. Playing at 2.15 speed, trying to catch up before the end. Appreciate you, Didgeridoo Dave. Appreciate you, bro. We're going to be on for a little while longer. We're not even halfway through this thing yet. He probably lived. He's fucked up, though. I mean, shit, dude. Either way. I mean, that's absolutely attempted murder. Like, I mean, has he been arrested? Like, have they taken him in? Because, I mean, like, to knowingly hit someone like that is absolutely attempted murder. I mean, like, he's going to get charged for real for that. Honey is money and money is honey. Brother, ain't nothing funny about giving out honey.
Baked goods. Hey, talking to your old lady, just tell her, look, we need to hook the family up. These are some of the best cookies you've ever made in your life. I want everybody to have some cookies. So try to talk your wife into making cookies for everybody. It will save you a lot of money, and it will still show people that true love that you have for them. And it's going to impress them, especially because you can make whatever flavor of cookie that you want. Okay. It'll be something really special, and it can be something that they can't get in the store. Now, look, if your old lady is saying, oh, you got to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on me to impress me, you just got to hit her with the old famous one-liner. You got to say, hey, baby, my presence is the present. Okay?
Based. Yo, let's go, dude. Finally, something that I can wholeheartedly agree with Bryce on. If your woman is asking you to spend thousands of dollars on her, then she is not your woman. She is beholden to the dollar. She's the dollars woman. All right? That girl don't want you. She wants the dollar. She can go get the dollar wherever the dollar lies. So I agree with this. My presence is the present. I like it. That's legitimate bars from Bryce Mitchell.
It works every damn time. Okay, you just got to keep a straight face. Okay, do not break character when you pull that line out. Trust me, it works. And
Also based.
I'm not always a cheapskate. Okay, there are times where it is the right thing to do to just pay the extra buck and honor a special occasion. Speaking of, let me show you something out of scripture that was a special occasion and where Jesus actually said, hey, I think this is a great idea to use something nice and expensive for this occasion.
Please.
What am I talking about? I'm talking about when Jesus went to eat with the Pharisees and a very sinful woman entered into the room that the whole town was judging and calling all types of bad names. Well, this so-called bad woman comes up to Jesus and says, hey, I want to give you my nicest perfume and anoint you with it so that you smell very, very fresh. And all the Pharisees said to this woman, they said, oh, well, we could take that perfume and sell it and help the poor. And knowing damn well that the Pharisees aren't going to take the perfume, sell it, and give it to the poor, Jesus interrupted and he said, you just wait a second, okay? And you let this woman use this nice perfume on me because this is going to be one of my last meals. And let me tell you what, it's going to be worth it because she will forever be remembered for giving me her nicest ointment. And she'll be talked about to the end of time. And she's being talked about right now. That was 2,000 years ago. And her sacrifice, one bottle of perfume, has literally been talked about for 2,000 plus years.
Where was the splurging, though? She came in and said she wanted to give him perfume, the nicest perfume perhaps, but I mean, she already had it. She didn't buy it for him. Okay. It makes sense to Bryce, I'm sure. Clav's in trouble. He was talking about killing the guy he was already talking about killing the guy. Premeditated. Damn. First degree charges for Clav. Yeah, murder in the first, what they're giving him. Or could be anyway. Can you live react to the clip? All right. Yeah, I guess so. Since we're talking about it. All right, let's see here. Clavicular ran over. Hold on. Let's see. Turn the volume up here a little bit. Clavicular ran over a stalker that tried hopping on his windshield. So who is this stalker guy? Like, who is the guy that he's running over? Do we know? Oh, he's already on the hood. Okay. Yeah, this guy is being a jerk. Oh, Jesus. Oh, he's got some girl with him that's crying. Hopefully. Damn. Yeah, I mean this dude, he's got that kind of autism that's like that he doesn't know how to like process emotions or like convey emotion. So like that does not surprise me that he would react that way. But that's scary, man. That's scary shit, dude. Bro is on the hood of his car and then just you can see where the car like bumps up. And that's when the girl starts crying. Yikes, dude. Fucking yikes. Fucking yikes, dude. It's a harasser that looks like Ramon Tavares. Yeah, you are not lying. Yeah, I didn't see that until you said it, but now that you said it, yeah, definitely. Known stalker diving on your car while you're running away from him. I bet nobody gets in trouble. Hard to say, man. Hard to say. I mean, the fact that he the fact that he had like he wasn't running away though. That's the problem. It's like he was like anytime that there's a vehicle involved, the vehicle can be inferred to be a weapon. He was weaponizing his vehicle, even if the guy was harassing him. Again, I'm not even necessarily saying that I am saying that. I'm saying that, like, in the eyes of the law, that's probably how they're going to look at it. And his demeanor about it, all like you could tell he wasn't in any kind of like distress. You know what I mean? He was just cold heartedly doing it, like having it on film. These guys, bro, like this is really the logical like progression of where we have gotten to living in the surveillance state / streamer culture that we have now, is that everybody is so comfortable doing everything on camera that like this dude just didn't even flinch. He's live streaming to the entire world that he nearly killed someone cold heartedly. I think that the video is pretty damning, but I guess we'll see. I guess we will see. He literally said in uni he'd keep himself to 50 words per day and counted them to seem mysterious. It's not just autism that's wrong with Clav. Yeah, he's definitely got like some kind of like I wouldn't know exactly what to call it, like sociopathy maybe, but it's definitely some. I mean, I think that you have to be somewhat sociopathic to do like the looks maxing thing that he does. So all of the rest of his shit is just like an extension of that, and I mean, logical conclude. Plus, I mean, the dude like getting to this point for him is like I don't think anybody should be surprised by that, considering that he's been openly abusing all kinds of substances for years. I mean, the guy, all kinds of PEDs, all kinds of steroids, anabolic and otherwise. Then you get into meth and cocaine. I mean, this guy has been doing every like degenerative substance that you could possibly imagine for as long as he's been alive, basically. He has been supplementing other substances to negate the effects of the first substance. So like he'll be on one drug, it'll give him a side effect he doesn't like, and he'll take another destructive drug to counteract those side effects. So this guy is all kinds of fucked up, and to have that much coursing through your system as young as he was doing it. I mean, he was on steroids when he was like 16 years old. Of course he's going to be fucked up. Like, roid rage is a real thing. I mean, I think people meme on it like it's not real. I mean, these are hormonal imbalances that you are willingly and wantonly putting your body through, and especially when you're doing it in your formative years. Like, this dude was bound for problems. This dude was bound for problems. He could have backed up or stayed in the apocalypse-proof Cybertruck he was in. Damn, he ran him over in a Cybertruck? Yikes. What a way to go. Unknown user. Why does everyone hate Bryce Mitchell? I'm new to MMA. I mean, a lot of people... Okay, I'll say it like this. I don't hate Bryce Mitchell. I know that a lot of people would think that I do. I don't. I do not hate Bryce. There are probably some people who do, and it's mostly because he has very extreme views that are fringe and not based in reality, at least as most people agree reality to be. But that being said, I just look at Bryce as a person who is so dumb he can't realize how dumb he is. That being said, there are also times where he says some things that I do agree with. I find Bryce fascinating more than anything else. So I don't know why everybody hates Bryce. I can certainly give you more examples of those things that he believes that would probably inform why some people hate him. I more find him amusing and peculiarly fascinating. how I would describe it. He literally did a destroy your brain speed run while underage, don't socialize, spend all day on 4chan and do every illegal drug you can. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he totally did that. Yeah, and you're seeing the repercussions of it. Talking about clavicular in that case, not Bryce Mitchell, of course. The insane thing is, I'm pretty sure Clav is like 6'2" and looked better before the looks maxing stuff. He could have been so normal. Yeah, absolutely. But then he wouldn't have gotten all of the internet fame and clout. Clout chasing as an adolescent. This is the road. This is the path that one can easily fall into. You want to talk about things that are influenced by what you consume, you know? He didn't look better? All right. I mean, he was like 12 when he started, though. Of course, he's not going to look like goated at 12. Yeah, that's the thing about him now too. Is that he has that like AI face now. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that clip, honestly, dude. I mean, that's pretty scary shit. I hope the guy's alive, is all I'll say, for both of their sakes, you know, and the sake of that poor woman in the car with him who sounded like she was fucking devastated that happened.
Incredible. So don't always be a cheapskate when you have to, spend that extra dollar. And guess what? Jesus wanted to go into the battle that he was going into smelling fresh, and he did. Thanks.
Jesus died for your sins while smelling amazing.
To one kind woman. Speaking of, this actually leads us into our topic today. We're talking about how Christmas has been gayed out, and it's not about Christ.
All right, people, here we go. It was a long lead up. It was a long lead up to the meat and potatoes here, but finally we are going to get to the bottom of why Christmas is now gay, okay? It didn't used to be gay. Before it was not gay. Now it's gay. Somewhere between not gay and now, gay happened. All right? We're going to find out together. History is a lie that the general population, most of whom do not study history, have agreed upon. I mean, history is written by the victors, but again, if you believe that, then you falsify everything. This is the fundamental flaw of that thinking. Is just everything's a lie, so I can believe whatever I want. Okay, well then go ahead, but like if you just are not going like that basically is a contrarian point and stance that negates everything. Oh, it's all a lie. Everything's a psyop. Okay, well then if you believe that, then there's no arguing with that. Yeah, it's all like, oh, that's false. That's false. Everything's false. Sky's not blue. That's false. You know what I mean? Like, so then, okay, then just you're always going to be on the opposite side of every argument for the sake of being on the opposite side. In some cases, it would seem you're right to do so, but there's no like changing that type of mentality. That's why I say I do not debate it. I don't know how I got here, but I want to hear why Christmas is gay. Michael Nolan, we are about to find out, brother. We're about to find out. We also have this clavicular situation brewing in the background. It's funny watching Clav in public in most or least distressing scenario and still somehow reacting wrong no matter what. Yo. Some people are all thumbs.
The real meaning of Christmas is the birth of Jesus Christ. That's what Christmas is all about. That's what it's always been about. And for whatever reason, it's been hijacked by...
Well, okay. I mean, I have heard this argument before.
So
why does it keep doing that? I pause it and then it keeps unpausing itself. I have heard that argument before that, Christmas has been co-opted and it's no longer about Jesus. First of all, obviously, I'm cool with that. I love Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday. That being said, don't give a fuck about the religious aspect of it. Fair enough, you're a religious person and you want the religious aspect. No one is saying that you cannot celebrate it that way. So that's that, number one. Number two, am I wrong that Christmas is not actually Jesus' birthday, though? That Jesus was born like sometime in March or something like that? Christmas comes from Yule, co-opted from the pagans, and just slapped Jesus onto it like so many Christian traditions taken from the pagans. So it was never about this to begin with. It was co-opted and became that. So you're kind of off to a rocky start here, Bryce. But again, how did the gays do it? Let us know. Christmas fucks? You goddamn right it does.
Break it down into 5 categories here to kind of tell you what I don't like about modern Christmas.
5 categories. Let's go.
The first category.
Category 1.
When was Jesus actually born? Well, let me tell you something. He was not born in the winter. Okay? December is the season of death. Jesus was most likely born in the spring. That's when lamb are born. If y'all don't understand that, Jesus Christ is the lamb. He was sacrificed for our sins, okay? And lamb are not born in the winter. It's impossible.
Bro, look at this fucking image right here. This is grotesque. Oh, that poor lamb with the halo, bro. Anyway, so Bryce kind of saying it. Yeah, Jesus was not born in the winter. But what does that have to do with the gays, though? How did the gays make it that way?
I'm just telling you, most likely the actual date of Christmas has been changed to a season where everything is dead.
The Christians did that, Bryce. The Christians decided when Christmas was. The gays didn't decide that December 25th was Christmas. Y'all did that. Oh my God, Bryce, off to a bad start with point number 1. And this image, we got to get off of this. I don't like that. Luckily, it's just AI or whatever. This artist, I guess, made it. But Jesus Christ, look at this image. From the foundation of the earth, the lamb was slain. I also don't like sacrificial killings of animals, just as a thing. Kind of bothers me. Yeah, it was a winter holiday. Then the pagans changed it. Then the Christmas changed. Then the Christians changed it. Then the companies changed it. Oh, okay. We got multiple change on change on change over here. Jesus. Resorting to semantics because there's general public school history and there's reading history books for a decade that your public school doesn't even have in their library. Yes, these almighty books that even the educated don't have. I mean, okay, why are those books not taken as the reality? And I even know the shit that you're talking about too, like the fucking ancient Egyptian shit and Anunnaki and all this stuff. It's like, bro, fine. If you want to believe all of this stuff it's just too based for the average person and they quote unquote don't want you to have this knowledge. Sure, dude. Pagans were gay though? Okay. So then why did the Christians take their holidays? Like, shouldn't that be a win for the Christians? Like, we beat you, pagans. We took your holidays. Plant the flag. I don't know. It's an odd dynamic with that.
Remember, Jesus was born in the spring. If you had a birthday in January, would you want to celebrate it in October and everybody say, oh, we're celebrating the day you were born? No, you would say, hey, I was born in October, not January. Common sense, okay? And the same thing applies with Jesus. He was not born in December. Remember that. He was born in spring. It's just a perversion of Christmas any way they can.
Well, okay, but so you don't have a day for it. So, like, we have a holiday, like the day part of it. This is the day that we celebrate this thing. Bryce, I guess, wants to move it to some day in the spring. Okay, well, lobby your local deacon or whatever, whoever your religious higher up is, to have Christmas changed to sometime in spring then, Bryce. Again, I don't know how this is the gays' fault.
They started with the actual date being wrong. Dummies, it's a birthday. It needs to be about when he was born.
It should be exactly when he's born. If Jesus was a man that actually existed, then he has a birthday. It should be that day. Do you not know that day? If you don't know that day, then where's your argument here? It should just be sometime generally in spring. Okay, fine. So, point number one, Jesus's birthday was not December 25th, so gay.
Number two, instead of worshiping Jesus Christ, everybody now wants to worship consumerism. And let me tell you, there's nothing as an economics major that makes me more pissed off as to seeing Christians worship consumerism. Oh my gosh. It's disgusting. Gluttony is an excess of something.
So, point number two, Christmas is about consumerism because gay. So, birthday wrong because gay, consumerism gay. I'm following along here. Oh, the Protestants made the move? So it's the Protestants' fault. So this is Christian infighting, you're saying. All right, fair enough.
Okay. So you need to be exercising and dieting on Christmas. Oh, you don't want to hear that. Well, you need to. Okay. That's just the truth. I don't just get fat for Christmas. I work out and I train and I eat a lot too, but I also train more to burn the calories off. Use some common sense. Don't glorify being fat and stupid and lazy. I don't care what time of year it is. Okay.
Fat, stupid, lazy because...
Okay, you should have a good diet and exercise, train hard. You know what I mean? Another thing I don't like about Christmas and the consumerism is that it's training kids to lie, be jealous, demand more, and be selfish. Ooh, yeah, don't put your kid on the wrong path because early in life, you as an adult worship consumerism and just get giddy over a stocking filled with socks and chocolate bars. Woo! Socks and chocolate! Woo!
Socks and chocolate, woo. This is just a list of things Bryce doesn't like about Christmas. Again, I don't understand. I mean, maybe I guess he's just using the term "gayed out" to like mean that, to just mean shit I don't like about Christmas. But I'm not seeing the correlation. And furthermore, consumerism is awesome. Don't question product. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
Yeah, you sound like an idiot, dude. You should get that excited over Jesus Christ dying on the cross and coming back alive.
We know you do, Bryce. Good Lord, nothing gets you more excited than Jesus dying on the cross. Think about that part of it. How excited Bryce and all of his people get over this dude being murdered in their telling of things. Seems a little strange.
For your sins. These little petty gifts, they don't mean as much as what you're glorifying them to be. I'm just telling you, okay? Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And also, too, if you don't think that kids really end up worshiping the consumerism and Santa and all of this, let me tell you what happened to me when I was a kid. Is I tried to catch Santa, and that's when I found out he wasn't real, sadly. I got my fishing net and a roll of duct tape, and I stayed up all night. I was waiting because I was going to catch Santa. I was going to get that fishing net on him, drag him to the ground, and duct tape him up. And then guess what? At like 3 in the morning, I caught my mom putting all the gifts under the tree. So don't lie to your kids.
Did you duct tape your mother? Did you catch your mother in a net and duct tape her, Bryce? That's not very Christian. This was before he was a Christian. Again, I don't understand how he's conflating the wanting of things to worship of consumerism. That's two separate issues, I would say, because I do think that there is an overemphasis on consumerism at times, but consumerism is the economic driver of society. I mean, if Bryce is arguing for an alternative governance aside from capitalism, okay, I mean, maybe there's something to be said there. There's an argument to be had. He is an economics major, as you just heard him say. So, that's a discussion that can happen. But to blanketly say, because there are presents on this holiday that it is a worship of consumerism and thus taking away from the glory of Jesus, both can be the case. I mean, even good little Christian children who love Jesus with all of their mind and body and spirit can still want a nice present on Christmas. And B, they also can be exclusive if you so choose. If you yourself want to worship in the way, Bryce, no one is stopping you from celebrating Christmas in fucking April and not giving gifts. Again, no, who is stopping you from doing any of this stuff? That's another thing about all of this mentality that just bothers me. I think I've already said it, but I'll say it again. It's the idea that just because other people celebrate how they want to celebrate, that's not how it's supposed to be done. I know how it's supposed to be done. Well, then fucking do it however you want. No one is stopping you in this somewhat free country that we live in, Bryce. Celebrate it whenever you want. Worship however you want. No one is stopping you.
Just tell them, hey, I got you these gifts because I love you. That's what I'm going to do with my son. I'm not telling him about all this Santa crap. That brings me into point number 3. Jesus is replaced by Santa. There's nothing that makes me more mad about Christmas than Santa. He is satanic.
You want to talk about the great replacement? There you go. Bryce just nailed it. Jesus has been replaced by Santa. Santa is not a supplement to this holiday. No, he is the great replacement of the Lord and Savior. Santa is satanic, and Bryce is going to show us, I guarantee you, that this is where the letter switching comes in. We will see this in a moment. I bought 250 pounds of honey for $6,000, down with gluttony and consumerism. Honey lasts forever. Yo, Chairway knows what's up. Chalks and socklet. Chocolate and socks. Somebody needs to clip that. Santa is satanic, not gonna lie. Based on what? Based on what? Krampus? Good Lord. And all things can be satanic if you say so. If you decide it's satanic, then it's satanic in your eyes. Cell phones, satanic. Vaping, satanic. Live streaming, satanic. If you say it's satanic, then sure, fine. If Bryce is saying that Santa is Satan because the letters match up, then fair enough, I suppose. But again, who is stopping Bryce from not doing or saying these things? Who is stopping him? He's saying, I'm going to raise my son to not believe these things. Jesus is the reason for the season in the Mitchell house, and his son is going to learn that. You're right, Bryce. You're right to do so. No one is stopping you. Santa was a saint. So there you go. See, and 46 Vet. Shout out to you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. 46 Vet, a very religious man over here. So who was right? Religion can't even fucking agree on it. Religious people, I practice religion correctly. You're not doing it right. Well, wait a second. I'm practicing it correctly and you're not doing it right. You got your peanut butter in my chocolate. No, you got your chocolate in my peanut butter. Jesus doesn't appreciate either. Confirmed. Jesus Christ, not a fan of Reese's Pieces.
Okay, if you don't understand what I'm saying, Santa is literally a play on words by pagans and people who hate Jesus to make you worship somebody who doesn't exist, okay? There's a reason that Santa and Satan
He's really
are just
doing it.
a couple letters swapped from the same word. They are literally trying to put Satan in your face and replace anything that resembles Jesus Christ with any lie that they can. So Santa's fat and gay and he's satanic. And you're not getting no milk and cookies if you come into my house, buddy. You're getting some buckshot and I'm kicking your jolly fat ass.
Oh my God. He really did it. He really put the fat gay Santa up there. Santa is fat and gay. Because he's not Jesus. This is your boy? Somebody come get your boy. I don't, no words, no notes. No notes. Real eyes realize real lies. Saint Nicholas and Santa aren't the same. Old Saint Nick, old Nick, Santa, Saint Nick, Satan Nick. I get you. See, dude, I'm saying real eyes realize real lies. Checkmate, atheists. Santa is fat and gay and he's satanic, bro. I'm telling, dude, a COD lobby, bro. No, this is something else, bro. I'm telling you, this is its own thing entirely. That is why we're doing every episode of this show, people. I'm not stopping. I'm doing every episode of the Arkansanity podcast. Bryce is something fundamentally. He's a human train wreck in the old adage, It's like something you can't look away from. It's like he is this unknowable thing to me. It is something otherworldly, and I am utterly fascinated by him. Again, because if you recall, people will hear me say that and be like, oh, man, what? This guy's such a fucking hater. Fuck this guy hating on Bryce. Bryce is so based and Thinker's an idiot. I agreed with Bryce earlier in this very stream. There are things that Bryce will come out with every blue moon, and I'll be like, damn, based take Bryce. But then Santa is gay and fat and satanic because he's Jesus's replacement. Ooh, buddy. 11 more minutes.
Get the hell out of my house, okay? Let me actually tell you about the real Saint Nicholas, okay? Because they're going to tell you, oh, Saint Nicholas, you mean Santa? No, nobody ever called Saint Nicholas Santa. He went by his name, Saint Nicholas, you fools. Santa is a play on words to make you think of Satan when you think of Christmas, okay? The real Saint Nicholas served as...
Isn't it Sinterklaas? Doesn't it come from German? Am I wrong about that? Hold on. Just out of my own curiosity here. So yeah, Saint Nicholas is a predecessor. Yeah, Sinterklaas. Early representations of the gift giver from church history and folklore, especially St. Nicholas, merged with the English character Father Christmas to create the mythical character known to the rest of the English-speaking world as Santa Claus, a phonetic derivation of Sinterklaas in Dutch. Sorry, not German, Dutch. Santa, Sinterklaas, Santa Claus. Just language evolving. But no, it's a satanic ploy by the gays. You got to keep up here, people. I mean, look, Bryce hits you with these things so fast. It's like a Josh Emmett overhand.
As Bishop of Myra, which is in Turkey, he endured imprisonment and torture during the dialectinic persecution, which is in the early 300s. I did pronounce that word wrong. I'm just going to inform you, okay? That's what a professional would do.
Good on you, Bryce.
At the First Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, a guy named Arius blasphemed Jesus.
Oh.
St. Nicholas got so mad, he got up and put hands on Arius. He literally slapped him across the face. So the real...
visual representation. Not really a slap. It looks more like a push, Leading with the fingers, by the way. St. Nicholas getting a point deduction for that. Where's Herb Dean where you need him? I mean, stern warning at the very least. I mean, obviously you can see if this was in motion, that raking, that would have been apparent on the replay.
The real St. Nicholas will put hands on you. The real St. Nicholas would put hands on Santa. That's how serious these early church bishops were. If you so much as did...
Could you imagine, living a life where this is your belief system? This belief system fucking sucks. I would never want to live like this. Talk about a waste. Oh my God. Sorry. I don't really want to start going down this line of thinking because I really don't want to be disrespectful like that. But I couldn't imagine living with this as my core value system and finding any enjoyment in life. It would just be such a fucking slog to live this way. It's satanic. It's of the devil. I only believe in Jesus Christ. Blah, 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 blah. It's just, oh God. It really would just be unpleasant as a way of life.
Disrespected Jesus in front of them and blasphemed Jesus. They will get up and put hands on you, dude. And St. Nicholas ain't joking. He ain't playing. And he's for real about the gift of salvation. And so am I. This magical fat flying man and his reindeer, I have no respect for him. And you know what?
You hear that, Santa? You fat mythical flying man. Bryce is cutting a promo right now. I got a message for you, Satan Claus. You think you're gonna fly around with your fucking reindeer and I'm supposed to respect you? Well, I got another piece of news for you, brother. I don't respect you. And I'm gonna meet you in the ring at WrestleMania 17. Santa Claus comes jumping in off the top ropes. Damn, that's a match I might actually watch. Santa versus Bryce Mitchell, pro wrestling, tag team, Jesus with Bryce, Anton LaVey with Santa. That'll do numbers. That'll do legitimate numbers. Bryce is reading your text messages live. Well, at least you're a good sport about it, Chairway. That's why you're welcome here. I'm going to be honest, Bryce. I haven't thought about Satan on Christmas a single time until this podcast. Yeah, you talk about planting ideas. Talk about planting ideas. I mean, Christmas is over now. It's already tomorrow. But, next Christmas, I cannot say that it won't be somewhere in the back of my mind that, there's a little bit of Satanism going on that I am willfully participating in. Bryce is going with the Orson Welles approach, starting at the top and working your way to the bottom. It doesn't get better than Uncle Addie. Uncle Addie? I think I know who you're talking about. That's pretty bad.
But if Santa came to America today, he'd be deported by ICE. That's the sad state of this American country, is that we have no tolerance for foreigners or anybody with, different colored skin than us.
What about different sexualities, Bryce? Bryce is preaching tolerance for different he's really going the Westboro Baptist Church route here. That's a little known fact about the Westboro Baptist Church. Old Fred Phelps and his crew from back when he was still alive. Fred Phelps was actually a civil rights lawyer before he started the Westboro Baptist Church. And apparently very open to other ethnicities. So, there's something there, but the gays not welcome in that. Curious.
It's pathetic how we treat foreigners. So if Santa was real, he wouldn't even come to this country. He doesn't have his paperwork. Okay. Another thing that has been changed about Christmas is category 4, which is music. This is huge. What's going on with the music on Christmas? Okay.
Mariah Carey.
100 years.
Mariah Carey about to catch some strays right now. Why is he upset that Santa would be deported? Didn't he hate him and think he's Satan? Well, yeah, he's saying that, like, if you actually believed correctly, you wouldn't even allow Santa into the country in the first place. You too would be okay with Santa being deported. Because Bryce started his podcast episode 1 on the topic of Hitler, if I'm not mistaken. Tough act to follow. Yeah, well, Hitler was not the main. I did an entire watch along and breakdown of episode 1. Hitler was not the main topic. It just turned into the topic. A lot of conversation happened on that episode, and Hitler just happened to become the topic over time. So it was not the main focus until it became the main focus. And you are right. He did kind of blow the stack a little early on that one.
Years ago, I'm going to list to you the top 4 Christmas songs. Only 100 years ago. It was Silent Night, We Three Kings, Oh Holy Night, and Away in a Manger.
Whack. All 4. Whack Christmas songs, bro. There's some really good Christmas music out there. Some sucks. I would say most Christmas music is actually not great. There's a reason that we only listen to it once a year. Unpopular opinion, the Beatles' Christmas music is all terrible. I know that some people think that that's blasphemy, but simply having a wonderful Christmas time is an awful song to me. Lennon's So This Is Christmas song also sucks. Yeah, not a fan of any of that. But all 4 songs that he named, trash Christmas songs, in my opinion. So wherever he's going with this, just know that you're starting off from a pretty poor position.
You know what all 4 of them songs got in common? They all glorify Jesus Christ. Now, listen today as this wicked woman describes what's happened to our music, and listen to how proud she is of it too.
If it wasn't for us Jews, there wouldn't be Christmas the way you know it.
What? I mean, you knew it had to be somewhere coming, right? I mean, we went through 25 minutes without actually saying the quiet part out loud. But here's the wicked woman, and of course, you knew the juice box was getting a sip. Come on, people. If it wasn't for Jews, Christmas wouldn't be celebrated, however. I mean, don't get it twisted. This lady could also be a complete moron, much like Bryce. So 2 things can be true at once. That being said, if you thought that the Jays were getting out of this unscathed, come on, people. You should know better by now. This is Bryce Mitchell we're talking about here. Good Lord. Dana White put a hit out on Bryce after that, made him fight John Silva while he was on fire. I mean, I'm not mad at it. Also, another thing to note from that fight, and never let it be forgotten, Bryce Mitchell got submitted by John Silva in that fight. Bryce Mitchell got embarrassed by John Silva, beaten at his own strength in that fight. Just saying.
Look at that. Look at that. Because, Irving Berlin wrote White Christmas and redefined Christmas music. Until then, it was all like Jesus music. And all the iconic Christmas songs were all written by Jews.
This lady could not be more New York Jew. This lady is a walking stereotype right now. This is not a good look. But either way, you'd think that would be a nice thing. Jews contributing to the holiday season and the glorification of Christmas. But no, it's because they didn't write the right kind of Christmas music. Auto bad.
So I don't have to say anything. She said everything I was thinking. She basically ratted herself out. Okay, we've holed up another rat. So let's smoke him out.
Smoke him out, Bryce? What did he mean by this, chat? Another rat to be smoked out, says Bryce. What did he mean by this? I wonder. Ah, oh, good Lord. And again, you ask or you can mock when I say that, like, some of this type of language is legitimately dangerous. Just saying. Again, how do his fans take that? If Bryce says those things and he has an impressionable fan base, how do they take that? Another rat to be smoked out. Again, I bring up the time that I was in Pittsburgh, walking right next to a synagogue that was attacked by a gunman. Just saying.
I'm going to list to you now 5 Christmas songs. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why they're all evil.
Mariah Carey getting roasted immediately. Incoming.
Here they go. All I Want for Christmas Is You. That's about sex.
That's what? It's about wanting to be with the person you want to be with on Christmas. Why is it about you, bro? Oh my God. That also really does bug me. It's about sex because you decided it was about sex, Bryce? You decided. So you in your own interpretation say, oh, it's about sex. Who says? You? Okay, so Bryce has decided it's about sex. So now it's evil. Who are you, Bryce? Who are you to say that? Ask Mariah Carey what she thinks about it. Is it about, oh, all I want for Christmas is to fuck you? It's not the lyrics as far as I understand them. But anyway.
The Last Christmas. Sex. Rudolph the Red.
You talking about Last Christmas? Like George Michael song? Last Christmas I gave you my heart, then the very next day you threw it away or whatever? Bro, how is that about sex? Last Christmas I gave you my dick. I don't think that those were the words, Bryce. You are deciding these things.
Red-nosed reindeer. Magic and evil.
Yeah, I never let it be forgotten that these people, magic is only applicable to the magic that the Bible talks about. Jesus can turn water into wine. Kind of a magic trick, basically. Actual magic, like Harry Potter and that kind of stuff, magic as it is described that way in popular culture, that's specifically reserved for the supernatural powers of their deities. But yes, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, magic. Evil magic. That claymation reindeer from the Rankin Bass cartoon.
Rocking around the Christmas tree. Idolatry. That's right. You're worshiping a tree.
The Christmas tree is evil. Rocking around that Christmas tree is evil. Bro, if Bryce Mitchell had his way, you would be sitting in a closet reading the Bible all Christmas.
Worship God. Okay? And, of course, White Christmas. Oh, what's wrong with White Christmas? Well, it's deliberately put on the radios to piss black people off.
What? Bro. Oh my God. It's snow, Bryce. It's a song about snow, Bryce. I'm dreaming of a Caucasian Christmas. What if those black people are gay? Is it okay to piss them off? God, Jesus Christ, man.
How stupid do you gotta be? Okay? And in fact, let me make a point real quick. Did you know that white and black actually don't exist? Yeah, my skin's not actually white. This paper right here, that's white. My skin is not white.
Okay, so then what's the problem?
Okay, I'm kind of like light brown.
You're not, you're light brown? Okay, Bryce. Well, then what's the problem? If white and black doesn't exist, then what's the problem with the song? Considering that the song is about something that's white like the paper, i.e. snow. At a fundamental level, I kind of agree with what he is saying at this point right here, though. I also do not believe in race the same way that other people do. I think that race is an artificial construct that is imposed by society. It's a socio-political construct, basically. That being said, White Christmas is a song about snow.
In the summer, I kind of get a little bit more darker brown, okay? And guess what? All the people that call themselves black, their skin is brown. Our skin colors are actually more similar than what our English vocabulary describes it as. We put ourselves in the box of white or black. And
yeah, like the same way that Bryce and Francis Ngannou are very similar. Where does Melky Costa fit into all of that? He's kind of multi-toned. I don't know. Interesting question.
You think of White Christmas as, oh, white America. It's so much better than some black Christmas. Nope. That's all ignorant, okay? And anything that separates us based on skin color or would make one skin color mad at the other, any of that separation is a tactic from Satan. And I'm just telling you, White Christmas is not a Christian song. It's a song meant to sow division and piss black people off. It's so obvious.
It's about snow. And again, you talk like the double speak with this is ridiculous to me always. Sowing division. What is your rhetoric about gays doing, Bryce, aside from sowing division? So we have to be united by race. Race doesn't exist. Race is a construct that sows division. But sexuality, that's a hard line. You are inherently hypocritical all the time.
I don't even know why I have to explain it to you idiots, but I do, okay?
Yes, Bryce, we are the idiots. You are the smart one. That is abundantly clear.
Stop listening to these stupid Christmas songs and start listening to Silent Night. You know what I mean? Seriously, these songs suck. Silent Night, Holy Night.
Dear God.
They've obviously...
Well, after that, obviously you wanted to listen to it. I mean, that snippet alone makes me just run straight to YouTube Music to turn that banger on. What a bop.
Intentionally removed Jesus from Christmas. And category number 5.
Oh, we're not even
historical Christmas. What Christmas used to be in this country, because we do have a frame of reference, okay? Here's a picture that I love. This was taken in New York City. This was actually on Good Friday, not Christmas, but it just
that image actually goes hard and reminds me of a Marilyn Manson album cover. So, kudos for that. Glad he ain't a singer. Brother, I wish he wasn't a speaker.
Shows you that 50 years ago, 70 years ago rather, you know, crosses on buildings like skyscrapers was very common, okay? Nowadays, can you imagine crosses going up on the skyscrapers? And
you know what was also common? Crosses on fire on people's lawns. How you feel about those? That's a representation. Where does that fit into everything? Just saying. White Christmas.
New York City, they've made a laughing stock out of Jesus Christ and his sacrifice. Whereas 70 years ago, everybody knew Jesus Christ died for this nation, and everybody was bound by the love of Jesus Christ in this nation.
Everybody in the nation was bound by the love of Christ. Bryce, there were multiple religions back then too. There were all kinds of... There was the same type of worship back then that you are talking about now, as well as completely counter modes of living completely contrary to this as well. They have always coexisted. What you're talking about is a dominance of that. There was no cohesion in it. There was a monolithic representation in media, in public discourse. It was a monophase. It was a suppression of other people. So basically what you are advocating for is it's a domination of those dissenting opinions with your belief system. So talk to me more about divisions, Bryce. Talk to me more about how black and white is a construct to divide, as opposed to your religion, which is exactly fucking that. You are a hypocrite, Bryce Mitchell. Ridiculous. That funny one of you deleted my comment and Yama said it himself. One of you did. No one deleted your comment, bro. If your comment didn't get through, that was YouTube. That was, I mean, unless Hydra did, but I would doubt that. But yeah, YouTube has like a weird internal regulation, bro. I do not have any censorship on this channel. I have the absolute lowest amount of censorship that you can have. Sometimes YouTube just has a mind of its own with censorship. So, apologize if that's the case, but glad I said whatever it was you were going to say.
Okay, and that's diminishing. I'm just telling you, the Christmas season is no longer what it used to be, okay? Now you have to say happy holidays instead of saying Merry Christmas
There it
because
is.
the word
We've
Christ
come full circle.
is in Christmas. So they don't want you to say Merry Christmas.
Taking the Christ out of Christmas, brother. We really have. It only took us 3 hours, bro. We came full circle. 3 hours on this 30-minute podcast, but God, is it necessary?
They want you to say Happy Holidays, Will. Kiss my happy ass. I'm going to say Merry Christmas.
Congratulations, Bryce. No one's fucking stopping you. Oh, woe is me, the persecution I feel as a Christian because someone wants to say happy holidays. Shut up. God, Jesus, dude, what a fucking baby. They don't want to worship God the way that I want to worship God. Wah. Fucking dork.
Okay? And that's what it is. If y'all don't understand how important Christ was, the year is 2025. We started the calendar system based off when he was born. Yeah, let that sink in. Christ was born 2025 years ago. If you don't think it affects you, well, check the date on the calendar. Ever wondered why there's 7 days in a week? Because of 7 days of creation. Okay? If you want to deny the importance of biblical facts and biblical knowledge in our society, you are a fool. Our literal calendar system.
Yeah, Bryce basically saying what we had said earlier in the chat, where history is written by the victors. I mean, all these things are basically just reinforcing the fact that your religion was barbaric and conquered the world. Your religion forced itself on the planet, so yeah, your traditions seep into the commonplace. Congratulations, Bryce. You're a conqueror. You're a colonizer. Your religion is colonialism. Yippee. Good for you. He's a real life South Park episode, brother. We are going to watch every single one of these. I'm telling you, dude. I can't get enough. I really can't. Tis the season, bro. Bryce is the gift that keeps on giving. YouTube auto censors a lot of your swearing, dude. I'm sorry about that, man. I don't know what I can do about that. Actually, now that I am part of the partner program, I might be able to talk to somebody and just see if there's some other thing I can change. But just know that I personally do not want any censorship in the chat. That's my personal philosophy. I want you guys to be able to be as open with your expression as possible. So if things are getting censored, just know it's not coming from me.
Is based off of biblical concepts. You have no idea how brainwashed you are. Keep watching Arkansanity because I'm going to share that love of God with you, and I'm going to.
It's really mind-boggling to have the belief system and the fastidiousness of the clinging to it, the stranglehold that this belief system has on Bryce. And then for him to say, y'all are the brainwashed ones. But this is what it does. This is what it does to your brain. This is your brain on what Bryce is on. Jesse Dunaway, what's good, man? I would make the argument that people weaponized religion and hijacked it to cause fear-mongering. Brother, absolutely they did. Absolutely they did. Religion is the great divider. And I am not talking about Christianity specifically. I'm talking about religion as a concept. Religion is something that has been co-opted and good foundations. I've always said that. If you are a member of a church, you are a part of a community. And if you find value in that communal connection with your neighbors, with people who are like-minded, there is a beauty in that. There is a beauty in repetition and structure as well. These are core tenets that build a solid, stable foundation for adult life. I respect all of those elements of it. when you start to question the details of it, and when you start to take those details and say, I am willing to kill my fellow man in the name of these details, we see many problems. We see world wars. We see persecution. We see death in the hundreds of thousands to millions historically. So it's a mind virus as far as I'm concerned. And again, I do not fault any person who takes value in it and utilizes it to live a life that is enriching to them without that being thrust upon anyone around them. Bryce could keep all of these thoughts that he has in and of himself, keep them to himself, live a good life, and never let those things touch others in a negative way. And I would have all the respect in the world for him. I would have no problem with these, what I would feel are somewhat extremist beliefs. I'd have no problem with it, Bryce. If you went out and everyone was treated equally, respect. I mean, generally, Bryce is pretty respectful of people in his day-to-day encounters, but he comes on his show here and says the things that he says. And it's just like, if you take those practices and just let it be, live and let live, there's no problems. There's no problems whatsoever. I would shake the hand of an ultra-religious person the same way that I shake a hand of a fellow heathen. It's the weaponization that I have the strongest problem with.
Show you it's not as bad as what they tell you in the public schools, okay? In fact, it's way better than what they're teaching out there.
Yes, don't go to public school. Listen to Arkansanity.
In conclusion, the real promise of Christmas is the promise that no matter what's happening in your life, no matter what's happening in the world, no matter how dark things may seem, the sun will rise because the sun has risen. Jesus.
One thing I do love, though, and this is unironically, I love that Christians have all of those little sayings. Keep the Christ in Christmas. The sun will rise because the sun has risen. They've got like banger bars that they just like have at the ready. I only saw one set of footprints. You feel me?
Christ is the true light of the world. Let me get into some scripture here to bless y'all up. This is some really powerful stuff here, okay? Isaiah 8,
dropping
19. When
bars.
someone tells you to consult mediums and spiritists, should not a people inquire of their God? Yeah, he's talking about Santa. Don't inquire about Santa.
See? In the Bible, they were speaking out against Santa Claus. Before Santa even existed. He's talking about Santa. That scripture is about this is powerful stuff, people. The issue is he says, I love everyone, then says something that's completely the opposite. Absolutely. That is why Bryce is a complete hypocrite. 10,000%. Again, in the same breath, he will say, white and black doesn't exist. Race is a construct to divide us, and then weaponize his religion against people who have a different sexual orientation. Sexual orientation, perhaps also a divider. And also somewhat of a construct if you really want to go down that road. That, gets a little bit into a different territory, perhaps, but.
Inquire about God. Isaiah 9:1. Nevertheless, there will be no more gloom for those who were in distress. In the past, he humbled the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, but in the future, he will honor Galilee of the nations by way of the sea beyond Jordan. Oh, you wonder who he was talking about? Well, this is Isaiah 9:6, okay, a little bit later. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Who was called the Prince of Peace? Dude, he's talking about Jesus in Isaiah 9:6.
Oh, so it's not Santa. Okay. Sorry, I need to keep up. Thought we were still going with Santa on that. No, it's Jesus. That one was Jesus. Gotcha. Okay. Keep up.
Matthew 4:16. Whoo, this one give me chills. This one wake me up, okay? Let me tell you. The people living in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of the shadow of death, a light has dawned. John 8:12. When Jesus spoke again to the people, he said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. I can't read that without getting chills in my body. It wakes me up because that's what Christmas is. It's that Holy Spirit entering your body, the light entering your body, the darkness leaving your thoughts and your mind and fleeing from you. That's the gift I want everybody to have for Christmas. I want y'all to have the confidence that Jesus Christ lives in your heart and you cannot be harmed by your enemies. You cannot be harmed by darkness. It will flee from you because the light of Jesus Christ is in your heart. If you
Yeah, I don't want that gift. Keep it. Keep it to yourself. You can have it. You can keep it all for yourself. You can give it to your family, perhaps, if they also want it. I don't want it. Keep your gift. Not for me. How about that? No? Well, that's a problem? Oh, and now we got problems. Oh, okay. Santa Claus, he was a saint. Like I said, he doesn't know the history of St. Nicholas. I mean, you know, you go down all of these roads with history and what's real and what's not real. And there, I mean, you listen to Chairway and there's all kinds of history that we don't know about that is being kept from us for reasons. So Bryce knows the history that he wants to know. And really, that's more and more what it seems like society has just become, is that we all decide what reality is. There's no consensus on reality anymore. Everything is made up based on what we want it to be. So, just it's really more of a free-for-all than it ever has been in that respect. Which is kind of crazy because a lot of people like Bryce want to return, quote unquote, return things to a time, make America great again kind of thing. But they want to return to a mindset of self-subjugation where we basically are all just deciding what that looks like to us. They have one version of it. Everyone else can have a different version of it, and we all just argue over what that looks like, what reality is. There is nothing real anymore. It's whatever we say is real. Scary times.
If you don't have that, you don't know what Christmas is about.
Christmas is about presents and Christmas trees and Santa Claus. Oh, that's not what it's about. Shoot, I must not have been paying attention to anything in this show.
Just don't get it. And I'm trying to tell you, okay? Christmas is not about pretending darkness does not exist. It's about knowing the darkness does not win. The light has already come. The light has already won. The darkness flees from the light. You'll never see the light flee from the darkness.
Where does Frosty the Snowman fit into all of this? That all probably covered by the magic that Rudolph is covered by, I would think. Probably. The Library of Alexandria? Yeah, true. I guess there's a point there. They did destroy the Library of Alexandria. However, from what I understand, a lot of that knowledge has been redisseminated or reinterpreted, rehashed. It's an interesting element of that, right? We have all of this pre-internet history that is written or rewritten or interpreted as it will, but now we have the current record of everything on the internet. So the new history will continue to just be an even greater jumble of all of these random ideas, because the more that there is no consensus on what is real or what is not real, the more that self-perpetuates going forward. You keep adding gray areas to an already gray mass, essentially. Saying that, oh, well, this is not real, but this is real, but that's not real, but this is real, but that's not real. You keep self-perpetuating that cycle and adding in new falsehoods and false truths and half-truths and potentially true things. It all becomes an amorphous blob as we go forward. And perhaps at some point, there is no objectionable truth, no objective truth, at all anymore, perhaps. I don't know. Interesting concept, at least. St. Nicholas was an archbishop who gave back to the poor. That's pretty much the base of the tradition. St. Nick was a shaman who came down your chimney into your yurt to feed you mushies. Bro, two sides of the same coin. Right there, back to back in the chat.
Share this episode before Christmas. Watch it with your family and enjoy the next episode.
We failed on that.
Thank you so much, y'all. And remember, Christ is the light of the world. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, Bryce. Thank you. All right. And there you have it, people. Good Lord. 3.5 hours in, we got through episode 7 of the Arkansanity podcast. Oh, man, it's always like an endurance race. But I think it is of value. And I appreciate you guys taking this endeavor with me. What a journey it has been on this, the Christmas day, the holiest of holy days, the light of Christ has imbued us with the strength to get through all 33 minutes and 5 seconds of the show that we just watched. So, good deal, I suppose. He definitely gave to the poor. Well, I mean, I feel enriched. I feel enriched by all of what we have accomplished here today. Nothing like it. Nothing like some time with Bryce, I'm telling you. And some of his other episodes are even longer than that one. So maybe we'll give a little bit of a break to Bryce for a little while, but this was a perfect Christmas Day celebration here with Bryce, telling us how we should be living our lives if we are not currently living in the exact way that he says so. You made it. Bust out the red panties indeed. Well, Red Panty Night has already been accomplished thanks to you all hanging out with me in the chat, because always y'all make it what makes this the greatest thing in my life. So I appreciate y'all being here. Love you, brother. Hydra Savage, TJF Beeb, Sarah Toby, Sigma, and the regulars wish you all the merriest of Christmases. Love you guys. Didgery Dave could not have said it any better myself. Thank you very much for hanging out for this. Thank you so much. Legitimately, thank you so much to everybody who has tested out the super chat function to let us know that it is working over here, and who donated their hard-earned money. The generosity of you guys is beyond my wildest dreams for what Yama could be, and I feel truly blessed that you guys would feel strongly enough about what we do here to give any amount of money to it. So thank you so much for that. I genuinely appreciate it. Really couldn't have asked for a better Christmas present for myself from that. So besides all of what we just learned from Bryce Mitchell, I sincerely appreciate each and every one of you in the chat. Today is now Friday. So, Thursday comes into Friday. I will have to talk to Chase about us doing a Friday show this evening, tomorrow evening, this evening, Friday night. We will see, but I'm hoping that we do a Friday show, catch you up on all of the pertinent lore in the world of UFC and MMA. So keep an eye out for the next stream. New episode is out now. New video is out on the channel right now about Karate Combat. If you have not already watched that, give it a watch, give it a like, leave a comment about what you think about what's going on over at Karate Combat. Let me know what your thoughts are over there. I very much appreciate everybody who is watching the videos as well. So again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on this one, for enduring all of Bryce's wisdom here. And again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you. Until next time, have a great rest of your night, a great rest of your week, and as always, fight on.
It's